then. Okay, so. All right, go ahead and talk, Julia.
Here, YNS live with Fred live on Luncheon to get you guys and guys talking to you about why they're here. So much work goes into live assignment. Yeah, around legacy we are really excited for just minutes as we get things going.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I feel like it's not. It's coming through here. Okay, hold on. Let me think. Yeah, but I'm listening to the stream here. So. I just don't know what changed from 2 minutes ago.
Putting in my phone.
I don't think so. Okay, let's. Yeah.
I don't think anything got unplugged.
Can you just tap to it? Yeah, that's not.
Thank you. We're just testing stuff here. You guys. Yeah, I know, right? So nice to meet you. Okay, testing. I know I'm not supposed to get in that way. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hi, how are you? Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you. Yes. Nice to meet you. You guys are dealing with us. Yeah, we're just getting things set up, and then we'll have you guys on. Yeah, we'll get you. Yeah, whenever. You'll see. There's one of the girls is leaving early, so I'm gonna have her on first, and then you guys just invite up. Really nice to meet you.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. Did you get a little sweaty there, Steph?
Yeah, it's
All right. Do I still have my lipstick on? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I have some in my bag too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Test. Should I start? Are we good?
Yeah, sorry.
Welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread, here live from Arizona, the Luncheon. I cannot wait to have you guys meet so many people that are here today. Why are they here? This is so many things for a girl to do at the Super Bowl. And guys, we have players here as well. We just want to thank everyone for joining, whether you're listening on YouTube, whether you're here live on Fireside, whether you're Facebook or Twitch. These shows brought to you by Shutterstock. You call the shots with Shutterstock live assignments. Thank you, UBS, Angela Brown, Leadership and Business Coach, Legacy Builder Group, and again, we're so happy to have you guys here. I'm going to have some people kind of follow through. We will have, you guys, there's going to be so many stories here. So many people have actually come up because last year, if you remember when we were in LA, it's so fun to have people here coming on, joining, talking, telling us why they're here, what they're doing. NFL Thread is the LinkedIn for women, and Cynthia's been actually doing these shows since about 7 years, and now we have the live podcast, which is really, really fun. The playbook you can see here, and our first guest is going to be Carla. You're up. Yeah, you can come around this way. Yeah. We're going to have our first guest, and I'm excited she's with the NFL. Again, we're going to bring
me other than me.
Just you. Okay. Just you. Yeah, you're going to be close to your mic.
Talk loud, talk
So we are filming this?
Yep.
Can I just make sure I don't have anything? Like I trust your headphones.
So you guys, you have to see what I'm seeing like in front of me. It's just a wall of people mingling, having cocktails. We have a Be Swanky bag that is being given away from the raffle. We have so many great things in the swag bag that people have. So this is really exciting for you guys to be joining us. So we're going to definitely get that mic closer to your face.
Very close.
Yeah, and you might even want to see how McMahon is like this. Yeah. Do you want to even? So, Carla, can you please introduce yourself? And so that is the camera right here in the front. Introduce yourself so I don't butcher your name.
Okay, yep. So hi everyone. My name is Carla Lied-Buglione, and I work for the National Football League in player engagement. And I've been there for 9 years this week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So what this podcast is about, Cynthia and I started it because we want to talk about the stories, the behind the scenes. What is going on? Not everyone comes to see the game. Fame is important. Obviously, it's what gets everyone together. But what's really fun are these networking and events and the energy and the love that is in the room, which is so fun. So tell us a little bit about what you do for the NFL.
Yeah, so like I said, been there 9 years, but our department has existed for about 20 years. And the department has been built to serve players and their families in terms of their next career, in terms of education, and really preparing them for life off of the field. And so my main goal is to design programs and career opportunities so players are ready for that next career. I make sure that they've got everything they need to know about the broadcasting world, everything they need to know about the business world. There's a Legends Business Network, there's a real estate workshop, and so many other resources and educational opportunities so that they're really, one, equipped to be successful in their next career, two, they can rely on a vetted sponsor or partner. So I do a lot of that. And they can trust that next jump, that next move.
So I have to ask you, how did you get involved?
So I went to college in New York City. And I babysat for an executive at the NFL who remains nameless right this minute. However, he did see my work ethic. I was always on time. I was good with his kids. And he was like, would you ever consider a job in player engagement? And I was like, what is that?
Right.
Long story short, I was a psych major, and it kind of just worked its way into an internship. And so a long time later, it's been almost 20 years, I went and got a master's degree in athletic counseling. I worked at Fordham University with athletes. And so I really have a passion for helping athletes and players and their families, because this network of people is extremely elite, and you have to really understand that world and prepare them and help them and support them and wrap your arms around them so that they're seamless transition.
Right. Yeah. I love that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, and the thing that I think is so cool is when people find a path that is a little different than they thought they were going to go.
It's really different.
and yours was babysitting.
Yes.
I mean, and this is actually funny, and I've talked about this on the podcast. When I first met Cynthia, I actually babysat this year because back in Philly, and not Cynthia and Michael, but
our
our
path
kids.
is very similar.
Isn't that so funny?
Oh wow, I love that.
And that's how I got involved. And I mean, that's how Cynthia and I stayed friendly.
Right.
And then when I started the podcast in 2019, I was like, you have to be on the podcast because I remember being like a teenager and watching what she was doing and loving what she was doing. So I wanted her to talk about it. And then when she started talking about all the events that happened, I was like, why don't any of us know about this? Like, this is crazy.
It is a best kept secret of sorts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, tell people where they can find you.
Yes.
So they can learn a little bit more.
Absolutely. So players actually have their own portal. It's called the Player Portal, and that's players.nfl.com. And they actually have to get vetted through because it's a trusted source. However, you can find me on Instagram at Carla Marie 1987. Cynthia always tags me in every post, and I really am your go-to for all player information, player programming, family information, events, anything happening in Super Bowl. I have all of that information. Like I said, it's a best kept secret. It's for a reason, so that we keep some sort of, security around these players. However, it's trusted and definitely reliable.
Oh my God, I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining
You're
YNS
so
Live with
welcome.
NFL Thread here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is exciting.
Okay,
Thank you
and
so
I know,
much.
and we're probably going to have you on longer because I want to dig a little deeper
that's fine.
into what you're doing. So
Yes.
after the event, we're going to have Carla back on to really dive into all of that.
Yeah,
So thank you
sounds
again
like a
for
plan.
joining.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay! Oh, that was
this is
fun.
so nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
I love that we had a similar path.
I know.
That you babysat for Cynthia.
I know. Isn't that so crazy? It's so fun.
So between you and I babysat for Commissioner.
That might be still alive.
Is it still live?
Are we muted yet or no? Okay, great. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from the Luncheon. Want to thank our sponsors again, Shutterstock. You call the shots with Shutterstock Live Assignments, UBS, Angela Brown, and Legacy Builder Group. All have sponsored the podcast here, and we have so many great things in the swag bags too, which I will name as we go along. But we are ready for our next guest, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So I don't butcher your names. So please.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Ryan Kane. I'm the president at Hall of Fame Health.
And I'm Amy Kramer, Vice President of Partnerships and Marketing. So we're happy to be here, and we are a really proud sponsor for Off the Field NFL Wives Association. So we're happy to support this event, and also excited that we were able to host an event last night for Hall of Famers that are here.
So I was there at that Hall of Fame Health. Is that you
Yes.
guys were there? Yep, I was there.
Yes.
I was mingling around. Yeah, you guys had a great turnout.
We
Really
were
great
so
turnout.
excited about our turnout, and
It was really good.
yeah.
So I have to ask, how did you guys get involved in that part of the, like, what's your path a little bit? If you can give us a quick little summary.
Well, I got involved a couple years ago. I'm a behavioral health specialist, a trained interventionist, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame had partnered with Hall of Fame Health to provide healthcare resources to former players and their families. And the first few phone calls they got weren't about orthopedic injuries or sports medicine. They were around mental health.
Right.
So I was invited to come up to Canton and talk to the guys at the Hall of Fame, and eventually it spun into a whole behavioral health program that we run out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Right. I love how paths kind of, how things really, I mean, whether you believe in the God or universe, my followers all know that I believe in God, but whatever you believe in, I love how sometimes things are planted and it's just the way that your paths take. So please tell us how you got involved.
I would say another lifetime ago, I worked at a university, and I worked with a lot of the athletes, and just trying to provide care for them, and realizing that sometimes there's some gaps. So sometimes the resources that are available to certain individuals, they're not always available where they think they are. So to find resources in the community to help fill the gap was kind of what I did when I was there counseling. And with Hall of Fame Health, it's part of our mission is to help the athlete and family members, really, wives, children, and fill a gap if there's a gap there. But we're lucky enough to have such great partners where when we can fill the gap, it's with world-class,
Right.
health systems like Honor Health that we were, partnered with last night. Facilities all across the country that Ryan has brought into our network, on the behavioral and mental health space, because that's really difficult often. So I think that's kind of,
amazing,
yeah.
yeah.
You start one place and end up another, but there's so many parallels that always go along with it.
Right. And I mean, it's so important to talk, so many years ago it wasn't talked about. But one of the things that we do talk about on YNS Live with NFL Thread Pivot, which we are live here on Fireside, but one of the things we talk about in Pivot is leaving the league. What does that look like? And I say all the time, like, we need to, as people that are not in the league, think about these are players, but they are people too. And if this is something that they loved for their entire lives, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from them for whatever reason, whether they chose or the league chose or it was age or an injury, we have to think about what they go through as they stop playing. Because it doesn't matter how good, what head on your shoulders that you have, that is going to do something where we need to be a little bit more respectful of it. I really believe that it's not, and any athlete really, it's when you play at that level and then all of a sudden you don't. When you love something, and so it's really, people need to be more aware of that. So I love what you guys are doing. I think it's so important.
Yeah, the transition between pro sports and civilian life, let's call it, is severe.
Right.
It could almost be considered a trauma.
Right, 100%.
For the majority of these guys' lives, they've been put on a pedestal. They've been the best at whatever level they played at. Hence, they became professionals in the sport.
Right.
They've been identified as athletes and not as people.
Right.
And they've been told what time to show up, when to sleep, when to have a meeting, what to lift, what to eat, what play to run. Then one day the phone stops ringing. People aren't calling you to tell you this stuff. And you're stuck with kind of a crossroads of who am I as a person, not as an athlete, because the athlete part goes away. And it happens to 100% of them.
Right.
Everyone's career ends in sports. So it's something that we utilize with our relationship with the Hall of Famers to reduce the stigma, lower that inhibition that people have to be tough and strong and pretend like nothing's wrong. If you can see these Hall of Famers stand up and say, I struggled when my career ended, it empowers someone else to maybe say the same thing. And what we offer them is some resources. So it's not just, hey, I have a problem, but hey, I have a problem and we have a solution with, network of therapists and
it's so important.
Facilities.
It really is, because it's something that people don't think deep enough into. It's just like, oh, who's getting that next number? And these are people, and it's to me, it's very important. So I thank you guys so much for what you do, and thank you for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread, live on Fireside here live from Arizona. Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Yes, and we're at Ocean 44. You guys, this is such an amazing venue. Thank you again. We appreciate it. Thank you. Can you guys, I need my lip gloss. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. It's in that bag, and there's a black bag. Into your microphone so I can hear you.
Okay.
That's where the camera is.
Wow.
You're going to come on next. Yes, Miko. Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm going to have you, Seth, tell us, am I unmuted? Are we unmuted? Okay, great. So please introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
Yes, my name is Paul Pettit. I am representing Legacy Builder Group.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Oh my God. So this is one of our sponsors, guys.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
So I'm, a little bit nervous talking about this in front of camera and podcast. And so what we all about is about, financial behavior. We're talking about, how our psychological mindset affects how we deal with money.
Right.
And that's
Which is
why
so
I'm
important.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love for
Yes.
you to listen more. My partner, Marcelia Williams, she's have her own podcast. And, she share a lot about that education on her podcast.
Right, which is so important. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here and joining us.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about why you got into, working with Legacy Builder Group.
Yeah, so 28 years ago, my husband and I, we started our company as mom and pop shops. And now we been branding to 3 branch, which is one branch is representing asset under management, and another branch is dealing with comprehensive plannings. Nice. So on all aspects. But the good part about us is that we give you education first. Like, let's say if you come to me and say you want to buy a certain product, well, hold on a minute. We want to give you. Let's talk from the beginning, and let's deal with how you deal with money. Because, money is such a thread that runs through all our life.
Right.
And how it affects the way we think and affect our kids, affects our relationship. People broken up because money. And then, gosh, if you don't know how to deal with that from the psychological point of view, we're not going to be able to handle and leave the legacy for the next generation. How awesome is that?
Right. No, it's so important. Well, thank you so much for being here and joining. And thank you so much for being one of the sponsors of YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside, live from Arizona, Oceans 44. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Nice
meeting
Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Miko, you're up. I'm so excited. So my next guest, I'm excited. So can I tell a little bit? Can I tell the story yesterday? Okay. So, and it's Miko, right? So Miko Smith, Lance Smith's wife. So we met yesterday at the Hall of Fame Health event, and Miko said, "I'm not coming on the podcast." I said, "Oh, but you are." And she said, "No, I'm not." We ended up talking for like 20 minutes, and she goes, "Oh, I think I can do that." I goes, "It's very comfortable. We have conversations. You're going to tell us a little bit about who you are, and it's going to be great." And you were like, All right, I can do this. So I'm going to tell you, you're going to get close to your microphone, and you're going to talk loud, and we're going to just talk. So introduce yourself a little bit about like why are you here and what this event means to you.
Okay, so my name is Miko Smith, and like Julia stated, I am the wife of the former NFL player Lance Smith. And I am a member of Off the Field as well as The Thread.
Yes.
And so I love this sisterhood that we have. It's unstoppable. I just feel like we have such a great community of support and love for one another. And, you know, with all the support and love that we have for one another, we also share that love and support for others. So we're always, you know, giving back to the community.
You guys are.
So I just love when I can love on others and then see how, you know, that resonates with the community on how much we love each other. And when you can love yourself, then you can definitely love others.
Right. And, you know, and we talked about
easy.
this a little bit yesterday, is that one of the things about this community that I think is so important, and it's not always talked about and people don't see it, is what service hearts all of you have. And it really, you know, we did talk about and touched on this. You know, my listeners know that I believe in God, but whether you believe in God or universe, I do believe he puts people together.
Absolutely.
And you guys are at a platform where you're able to help more and use that service heart that's so important to you. And you can feel it at every event that you're in. You can feel it. And it's so important. So I just, I thank you for what you do. And I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I love it. I do. I think it's a great platform, you know, because so many people are not aware of this community.
Right.
You know, you see the players out on Sundays, and you never know that there's strong women behind those men that are pushing them to go out and do what they do each week.
Right. And be the support when they come home. If they've had a bad game, they have an injury, you guys are there.
Absolutely.
And all the moves, picking up and like, I got this, hon. You go play your game because I have the house, whether you have kids or not. It fascinates me to like the core because, you know, again, I'm a mom, but the level that you guys have to do it is so impressive in my mind. And again, it's not talked about. It's not really talked and celebrated about how much you guys juggle and what it's like. And the hard times, you know, everyone goes through hard times. And so it's important to like, you know, be like, everyone's human. I just moved. My husband got traded. I'm trying to find a dentist.
Right.
Just need a dentist. When I moved, that was like the one thing I was like, so many people were like, use this one, and I could not find one that had an appointment, you know? So it's those things that we don't think about. So thank you for just, you know, talking about it and shedding light and being here live on Fireside with YNS Live.
Thank
NFL
you.
Thread. Thank you so much,
Thank
Miko.
you.
And as I said, we're going to have Miko on for the longer version. She's going to jump in and tell more because now, right, you like this.
Yes.
See, I told her. I said, you're going to get on and you're going to love this. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
I so appreciate it.
It's good. It was good for me. Thank you.
But then we're going to dive in seriously about like what you also do in your life.
Okay.
You know, like I would love for you to touch that, you know, not only do you do stuff for the NFL, but what do you do outside?
Okay. So I actually have been with a company for 33 years. And I'm excited to say that in 22 months, I plan on retiring. No.
Yes, right. No, we talked about this last night.
You know, and so also I just actually submitted a patent for a design sheet that I've created.
Oh, we got to get into this. And we're not going to do it here today because you guys are going to come back because that's amazing. I get so fascinated with like people that invent stuff.
So I'm trying to have wear that hat of inventor.
Oh yeah, and because I have a lot of inventors that have been on the podcast. We gotta talk on the side.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. That you didn't tell me this last night.
I didn't want to. I was holding on to it.
You were. Oh
you
my
have
gosh,
to hold some things. Some things back.
That's exciting. But so you said you're going to be diving into that. So again, we are going to bring Miko back because this is exciting, and I can't wait to dive in because it's so important. All those steps that you have to do that people don't know what you have to do to get a patent, and when you have something that you want to invent. So
It's
this is
quite a
good.
bit. Yes, yes. I've had a great team that has surrounded me and helping me through this journey.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, we will be having you back. So thank you again
Thank
for
you.
joining YNS Live with NFL
Thank
Thread
you.
here live on Fireside. Thank you so much.
Thank
Mika.
you.
Take care. So
You too.
again, I wanted to thank our sponsors: Shutterstock, You Call the Shots with live assignments; UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builder Group. Thank you so much for sponsoring this wonderful event here, YNS Live with NFL Thread. What do you want to do? What? Okay, so we're going to pause this. We keep it live, but just, I mean, like,
it all at this time. But for me, it was really emotional because I had all my babies here in Arizona when my husband played for the Cardinals. And then for me to have a playbook come out today is really just awesome to see. And to have Franco Harris growing up in Pittsburgh, to have Franco Harris in the playbook and on the cover, but most importantly, his words to current players, to former players about life after the game. He was like, Cindy, I was unloading boxes out of my car, and a couple guys walked by and said, hey, that's Franco Harris right there. I said, man, that's not Franco Harris. Franco Harris wouldn't be unloading boxes out of his car, to deliver. And he's like, no, it was me. And I was unpacking boxes. Because at the time he was doing super donuts and muffins and for the schools, all protein donuts. And he's like, no, it's me. This is what you do when you start a business. You unpack your own boxes, you go to work. And I feel like so many current players, they're afraid to start at that beginning because there's this perception out there that you can't do that or that you shouldn't be doing that, or if you are doing that, you did something wrong. So the playbook this year is so many transparent stories about players and their spouses in dealing with transition. My own husband, I finally got him to take part in a project that I was doing years ago. His only quote was, I don't want to be in your book. I finally got him to do it, but we argued the entire time because it was a battle, because he didn't really want to open up, but I forced him to because I thought it was healthy, and I thought it was important, and I thought it was important for our own boys who go through their own transitions in life. And so that's why I really hope that you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy today, because today is about the same thing. Why are you here at the Super Bowl? What are you doing at the Super Bowl? What are you doing that you should be talking about on the podcast or to each other? Because I think we need to support each other in everything that we do. And for me, Thread gives me the opportunity to have people like Carla Lyons here from the NFL Legends, from NFL Player Engagement, my off the field. I just love off the field. I'm the vice president of off the field. I'm a behind the scenes girl because I'm just that person, but I love everything that we do. And I feel blessed every time I'm on a board call and I'm with everybody and supporting off the field. And if you're not on off the field, that's the whole purpose of today. Get in off the field, become a member, because we do things like NFL Connect, Thread Connects, off the field players, NFL Wives Association does. We do amazing things. So I'm going to just stop talking now, and I'm handing over to my co-host of the podcast, YNS Live, who was my kid's babysitter back in Philadelphia, who then one day asked me to be on her podcast. And I was like, sure. And I was like, geez, I can not only write about these stories, and I can not only get them together, but we can share their stories out on this podcast. So Juliet, on.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm so happy to be back for the second year, YNS Live with NFL Thread. As Cynthia said, it's about the stories. Stories connect people. When you hear someone's story, you either like them a little bit more, or maybe you think, okay, that's not my person, right? But you still connect in a deeper way. You still understand someone a little bit more. And sometimes that is all we need, is to understand people, what they go through. And so having you guys on the podcast, sharing your stories, is going to give people a deeper connection to what we do. So thank you so much. Again, do not forget to come over. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, I don't think I can. Yes, you can. You can go over. It's just like a conversation. I'm very comfortable. I do not bite. And we will have a great conversation. I'm going to hand it over to Erin. I am.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Juliet and Cindy. This is part of my voice with you guys. Each year is more amazing than the first time, so thank you for having us. As they mentioned, I'm Erica Lasser. I'm a widow of Kwame Lasser. This is our home, Arizona. So to all my home girls that I see here from AZ, shout out to my family. I do want to, Ashley and I are going to talk about the fashion show here in a little bit, but I do want to recognize our board members and Ashley as our co-founder of Off the Field. So she's the reason why, Ramonda's the reason why, and Sharice, who just walked the door, come over here, y'all, are the reason why this organization is formed so that we can all be here together. So these are our co-founders, Sharice Brown, Ramonda, we have more board members in the room today. I saw Shawnette, she's over off to the side. So we have Tamala Wilson, Tamiko McKenzie, and here is Shawnette Staff. So I'll turn this over to Ashley so she can talk a little bit about why we are here in Arizona this weekend. Well, we live here, but y'all know. Well, hello, Scottsdale. I think I've been wanting to say that, right? Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Brown, wife of 20-year NFL veteran Ray Brown, who's off doing something for the NFLPA right now. Painting with the pros, yes. So thank you guys for all being here today. We have a little event tomorrow, a really small event that's going to be right out the door over here, which is the hottest ticket right now. So if any of you guys are, think you're going to leave town or not coming, holler at me, because we'll buy your ticket back. Just kidding, but thank you for being here, and we're delighted to hopefully see all your faces tomorrow at our sold out 22nd annual charity fashion show. Yes, our proceeds are going to the Kara Sports Foundation, so we're excited about that. But just have a great time. We're looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow, and you guys. Cindy? Yes. Hop on the podcast. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see most of you, or hopefully all of you, tomorrow at our fabulous event.
Hello. My name is Wale. I'm going out to sports and team at UBS. I met some of you last year. And are you sure the fashion show is not today? Because I don't know if I make too much of your time. Obviously, our support for the NFL Thread goes deep, and especially this issue, the pivot issue. All of us had to find different avenues to express our intelligence, our physical ability, our creative minds, and I did it with in finance, and use some of my gifts to make sure that if any of your loved ones come to UBS or your families, that the firm understands exactly who we are and why it's important that we leave a lasting legacy. So with that being said, our continued partnership with the NFL Thread, we hope it lasts forever, because you guys are an amazing organization, and you're doing the things that we need, a system of people, of love, that will help make sure that as players transition out of the NFL, that they have a support system. This is where chemical abuse, marriages end up in divorce. Let's be honest about those things, if we don't have the right support system. And then lastly, finances get in a lot of trouble. And that's why we're here to have these real frank conversations, and we want to make sure that if you do want to have those conversations, we'll be here to help. I've been through it myself. I'm going through it right now as a man, as I've been retired now. It feels like I'm almost retired longer than I played in the NFL, which is crazy. But time flies, and we're here for you. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce a couple people. Ronnie Brown coming up, Carrie Sheffman, who's the head of our women's segment. She's going to say a few words. But Ronnie is a former first-round draft pick, number two in, I always say three to mess him up, but it's number 2 in the NFL draft, and he's also pivoted and is actually a financial advisor with us at UBS. So we'll say a few words, and it will pass to Carrie Sheffman, head of our women's segment at UBS. So again, thank you guys, and we really appreciate your support.
Appreciate it, Wale. Hello, everyone. As Wale said, I'm Ronnie Brown. I'm an advisor with UBS, working alongside of Wale and our staff, and all of our administration. But as you guys are talking about pivoting, I was one of those guys, like Wale said, former first-round pick, played 10 years, and then upon retirement, wondering what the transition looked like. And so, here I am as a financial advisor, and like Wale said, we all need wonderful individuals like you. At the end of the day, people need people. We need support. We need help. And so it's a lot of times hard for guys to ask for that help or even understand how to ask for that help. And so, this event is amazing. I was fortunate enough to attend last year, so it's just a great opportunity to come back and just kind of share with you guys. As Wale said, the financial piece is really important. My wife as well went through it. We met in college, and so going through that whole transition, it makes it easier. And a lot of times, you ladies have to force those conversations because we don't just volunteer that information, but, appreciate you guys for, the support. This event, it's amazing. I'm sure tomorrow will be just as beautiful as today, because everyone's dressed very well. I feel a little underdressed, but, like I said, we definitely welcome any conversations, our relationship, and everything. If there's anything that we can do as a group at UBS, we'd be happy to support.
Thanks so much. Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here. My name is Carrie Shuffman, and I lead our women's division at UBS, and I work very closely with Wale and the entire team at UBS, really around our commitment to helping women with their financial lives. And so as Wale was talking about, in the Pivot magazine, you'll see we have a new report titled Women on Purpose, which I would encourage everyone to take a look at. It really talks about how women in particular have been impacted by the events of the last few years, by the pandemic, by such fundamental change that we've all experienced collectively in some way or another. And it talks about how women are actually using their financial power to affect change, to make the world a better place, to uplift their communities, their families, the businesses that they're running. So really I would say, to leave you with the women's segment at UBS, we're really committed to helping women achieve financial well-being, to helping women take their rightful seat at the money table. And so if you'd like to learn more, please, I'll be here for the rest of the day, so please feel free to stop me, take a look at the report. And we're so thrilled to be a part of the NFL Thread. I met Cindy, I think it was almost 5 years ago now when we did our first event at the draft in Nashville, and we're just so thrilled to support this organization and all the amazing work that you're doing. So thank you so much on behalf of UBS, and I'll pass it back to Cindy?
No, everybody enjoy.
Enjoy your lunch.
Have a raffle. You know, I come talk about raffles.
I'm live. I'm good. Okay. So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread, here live on Fireside, live from Arizona. Wanted to thank our sponsors. We're going to actually talk to one of them here. This is UBS, but also thank you Shutterstock, Legacy Builder Group, and UBS. Again, thank you so much for sponsoring this wonderful event again. So Carrie, can you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do? You want to get,
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Carrie Shuffman, and I lead our women's segment at UBS. And my team and I are responsible for really trying to help women navigate their financial lives and prepare for their financial futures. And our ultimate goal is to help women achieve greater financial and hopefully thus overall well-being.
Awesome. So I'm love stories. I'm curious about stories. How did you get involved in finance?
Yeah, I mean, I studied finance in school. I was interested in it, but I really wanted to go into a business that had that relationship element, which I think wealth management does. And I've been at UBS now for 12 years. It's an amazing place to work, and I'm really proud of the things that we're doing, like this partnership with the NFL Thread. My colleague Wale Ogunleye and he's really focused on athletes and entertainers and those in the spotlight. We're committed to helping women navigate their financial lives. So it's a really great place to be, and I'm really happy to be here.
Right. So can you share where people can find you? And they, so if they want more information, they're listening here live, whether you guys are on YouTube, Fireside, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're listening to us, please share where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have tons of resources really focused on helping women with their financial lives, whether you're thinking about how to develop a budget, whether you're trying to plan for the unexpected, protect yourself and your family and your loved ones, think about planning for the long term. So all of that is available at ubs.com/women. You'll also find all of our Own Your Worth research and all of our Own Your Worth programming there as well. So ubs.com/women, very easy to remember.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining. And thank you guys for always supporting, what Thread does. And now with YNS Live with NFL Thread, the podcast, we really appreciate it.
Of course, we're so happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yes, go enjoy. Go enjoy. And then you're going to be next, right? You can be next. Or you don't have to be. Whatever you want. Okay. Wale. Oh, yeah. Yeah, come over here. I think Wale's jumping on. Yeah. Okay, and then you'll go after. Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we didn't get Wale on last year. We got all, and we also got everyone, I think, from your group. Yeah. She's just going to get real close to that.
Check.
Yeah. So welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Wale, thank you so much. I know that you've been supporting NFL Thread for years, Cynthia with the playbook, and so appreciate you also supporting YNS Live with NFL Thread, the podcast, because we love coming and giving the voices to this. This was it's all about. Again, stories connect. When people hear stories, it is more, you feel a deeper connection. So tell us a little bit about your background. I know you played, and then how you got into the financial world.
Yeah, my background, I played 11 years in the NFL, and when I got done playing, well, actually in the midst of it, I had realized that I really didn't understand what I was getting into with these finances. And I decided to go back and educate myself a little bit better. Got my MBA. The NFL has a great program where if you're thinking about furthering your education or even finishing your degree, they'll help, supplement some of that pay. So again, a lot of these players need to know that they have these programs available for them. I took advantage of that. And in the process, got my MBA at George Washington, D.C., and realized that there's should be a better opportunity for these big financial institutions to be good stewards of our high-profile individuals and clients and athletes. And UBS was up for the task. And they said, hey, Wale, how would you build it out if you want to? And they gave me this role. And for the last 3.5 years, we've been chugging away and figuring out how to make sure that we have the right relationships. Our relationship with you has been one that's been very instrumental in showing that there's a community of people that really care and want to give back. And that's what we're doing.
I love that. And you know what? I think it's so important. And this is, again, you're going to connect with so many people with just that piece that you were going through it. And it was like, wait a second. And then let me take advantage of what my resources are. Because so many of us don't. Even, outside of, so many of us don't take advantage of those resources that are kind of given to us. And so when you're reaching out to people and people are like, hey, can you help us with that? You also have that background of you went through it.
Absolutely.
So you give that. And that sometimes just makes people feel more at home because it's like natural. Like, okay, you went through it. I see where you have evolved, where you were, what your struggles were, how you, then went to school and were like, I need to know more about that. So that just gives people a little bit more of that kind of like that grit, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. People want to, someone doesn't want to feel like they're alone in this, right? And especially with a lot of alpha males and people even in society, alpha women too, they have a hard time of expressing doubt or insecurities. And when you see someone else that's been through it, who's able to articulate it and get it out there, that brings everybody into a warm place and comfortable place and are able to now get the help that they may need.
Right, and that's it. It puts you on the same level, even though sometimes we're all in different levels, and it's asking for help. So thank you so much again, UBS and Wale,
thank you for having me.
For sponsoring us and always being a part.
I'll be here every year. Have me, I'll be here.
I know, yeah, please.
And you look really nice in that. That's amazing.
Thank you. Well, so my husband, who grew up in the Bronx, so he's a Bronx boy, so he bleeds blue. We know, honey, you're a Giants fan.
Oh, got it.
I grew up right outside of Philly.
Yankees?
He's Giants, Yankees. Yeah, I mean, it's like, He was that kid that their whole family lived on the same block. That
Philly. I'm not putting two together. Philly,
Yes.
you.
So I grew up outside of Philly. So all of my family is they
Jeez.
torture him.
Oh
But so
my.
our kids though are not. My husband was like, we have 2 boys and a daughter. He's like, no, you guys will be Giants fans. Like I don't care. You could like other people, but you will
Are
be
they
Giants
Giants fans?
They are Giants
Okay,
fans.
okay.
17, 15, and 13. They know. We got, and they know everything. I mean, they're really
That
sports.
hasn't seeped over to you at all?
Well, no. So
Okay.
so this is what I say.
Okay.
I've lived in New York now longer than about the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
I really love a good game.
Got it.
And
Right.
I love all of my Philly like those roots. But I'm a
gotta
Philly
go.
Giants fan, which I know people are like, you can't be.
I mean, I don't know.
I could do it. So today, actually, Mark McMillan was like, "You're wearing the green," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that."
Oh, yeah.
I did wear the green.
Subconsciously.
I did.
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm excited for the game,
Yeah,
and
me
I'm
too.
excited for Andy Reid too.
Me too.
Who
me
I
too.
really,
Me too.
I have fond
It's
memories.
either way.
of him.
And this one, I'm like, either way,
I know.
it's a win-win for me. So
Yeah.
as long as it's a good game.
Yes, exactly. I don't want it to be a snoozer. I want it to be a good game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm about. Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you again for
Thank you.
joining.
Appreciate
yes.
you. Thanks.
So
Anytime.
appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, I don't bite. I make it easy. Okay. So, welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside, live in Arizona at Ocean 44. You guys can recall we had Mark and Adrian McMillan on the podcast just recently. And Mark said at the end, there's something else, but I can't talk about it. And literally like 2 days later, you announced that you are in the next, what is it? It's the next
level chef.
Next,
Yeah,
right.
Next
And
level chef.
with Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
So I remember when I saw that go out on social media, I was like, that's what he's talking about. That is what he's talking about. So, former Eagle, we got the green.
I
got
like
the green.
that. I like
you
that.
actually pointed out. And you didn't
I
think
like
about
that.
it.
I
know.
like that.
So also Emmy winner, Big Man, Little Man.
Yep.
You guys can go check out the show that we had on this awesome couple. But tell us how you got involved in this Next Level Chef.
It was crazy how it happened. It started in February.
Okay.
I got a message saying, "Hey, are you Mark McMillan?" And I'm thinking like, everybody knows who I am. If you just Google me, you see my face. And the guy just kept being persistent with it. And he said, "Well, how would you like to appear on Next Level Chef featuring Gordon Ramsay?" I'm like, I just barbecue in the backyard. Like, there's world-class chefs that be on this show. Like, what am I going to do on this show? So, the interview process went great. I had to work on my plating skills, had to brush up on my menu, because I was just doing barbecue. So I had to start transitioning to different dishes, using different sauces.
I love that.
And then they said, "Hey, you made the final cut." I think it was like 15,000 applicants that applied
That's
for this
amazing.
show.
Were you guys? I know Adrian's back here, and were you freaking out?
I think I was more freaked out than she was.
Right.
She knows I love Gordon Ramsay. I
Right.
love watching the show. But just being able to be one of 15,000.
Right. It's
and,
huge.
they flew 20, I think it was 22 or 24 people down to London.
Right.
And only 18 was only allowed to make the show. So out of those 24, they sent some people home before the
Right.
show even started. So I made the cut, I got the knock on the door. I was nervous. I thought I was going to get cut,
Right.
but I made the cut. And
Well, but I mean, I think one of the things is, and anyone that has followed you knows you. I mean, you got a big personality, So
A little bit.
you're gonna make for fun TV, and the fact that you can do what they want, the cooking and all that stuff, that just is gonna make it really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for people to watch it. The people that know me knows I'm exciting. Once the camera goes on, I seem to light up.
Yeah.
And then it's against Gordon Ramsay. I'm on Gordon Ramsay's team with 4 other amazing chefs. Chef Naisha, Chef Blaze. They have teams as well. So it is 18 chefs from all over the country that are competing for the prize. I think it's $240,000 or $250,000 goes to the winner. So we're excited about that. Yeah.
And it's airing after the Super Bowl.
It is airing prime time on Fox right after the Super Bowl, and the perfect storm.
Right.
My Eagles and my Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
And obviously, Mark knows what happens, but I kind of have a feeling that maybe you're going to be up there. I think that you're going to be in there.
It's going to be exciting. I will say I'm not the first one to go home, so that was my whole thing is don't be the first guy. And then you'll never be on TV again. Right. I was like, just continue to learn. Obviously, Gordon's a great mentor. Being in the kitchen he's Gordon Ramsay. Right. Being in the kitchen and having him go through your dish was so cool to me.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I mean, we've talked about, he's such a great personality, and the shows that he puts out are really entertaining,
amazing,
and fun. And you really get involved in the people that are in it. So they really go through and look at the personalities, look who's going to mesh together, look who's going to cause a little drama, all that kind of stuff. But that's so awesome that you have that opportunity.
I'm so, like I said, there was 2 other mentors, like I said, but being on, once we found out, Gordon Ramsay standing in front of us was like, does that mean he's going to be picking us? Because last year was a draft. So they picked who they want to be. So this time they put us in groups, and then our mentors were actually standing in front of our groups, but we had no clue. We didn't know anything. Right. And then Gordon said, hey, this is my team. This is who I'm going to win with. And my team would look at each other like, what?
Oh, that's so cool. So cool. Well, tell people where they can follow you on the socials. And again, tune into Fox primetime after the Super Bowl. We gotta watch what's happening.
Oh my God! Tune into Fox right after the Super Bowl, February 12th, season 2, Next Level Chef. I'll be on Team Ramsay going against Chef Blaze, Chef Aisha right after the Super Bowl. Eagles and Chiefs. Played in Philadelphia, played in Kansas City. A lot of people want to know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Team Ramsay on Next Level Chef.
That was smart. That was really smart. So again, thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside.
Thank you. She's awesome. Make sure you continue to tune in to her show. She kills it.
Thank you. Oh my God, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to text you and be like, oh my God, you're doing such a great. It's going to be so fun.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John. So good. All right. Maggie, can I have my chapstick again? Okay, sorry. So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, please.
Yes, so I'm Amber Newman. I'm a part of Off the Field as well as the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club down in Houston. So
amazing. So, okay. So do you come to the Super Bowl every year?
Yes, so my husband played in the NFL, and so he's a part of the NFL choir, and so we had that performance last night, so we're always here.
You're always here. And then what got you involved in the Boys and Girls Club?
Oh my God. So when I was young, my parents got divorced, and so my mom and I moved to Houston, and so I was a latchkey kid, and so I said the times that they have now is different than when I grew up, and so I was like, I would never probably leave my kids alone at home, you know, at a young age, just because it's the internet and it's so many activities that they can get into that could really harm them, and human trafficking, of course, and so that's, you know, I just have a passion for making sure that we have a safe place for kids to go, and so that's one of the reasons why.
That's amazing. And you know what I have to say, every single person I talk to and in this community, you guys all have service hearts. I mean, you really do. And my listeners always laugh because I believe in God, but whether you believe in the universe or God, I do believe that you're steered in certain ways, and this community, every single one of you guys that I talk to has such a service heart and such a beautiful thing that you really truly want to help. And then the fact that you get on a platform where maybe you have a little bit of a louder, you're able to have a louder voice because you have a little bit more of a platform. I think it's such a beautiful thing, and the fact that you connected it back to your childhood and you wanted to do better for the children now, I so appreciate it. Where can people find you?
On my Instagram, it's officially Amber Newman. And of course, Boys and Girls Club, bgcbrazoria.org. And so if people are coming down to the Houston area and want to volunteer and give back to kids, we would love to have them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread. Yes, thank you so much.
Keep up the great work, too, on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you again so much. Okay. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. I'm Juliette Hahn, and I'm going to have you introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Deborah Little, and I'm the widow of Pro Football Hall of Famer Floyd Little, number 44 with the Denver Broncos.
And what's really cool is we just talked about, so we're at Ocean 44 here in Arizona, and you want to show the napkin because that's really cool.
Yes, I would love to show the napkin. So we are at Oceans 44, and the napkins say number 44. So yes, a lot of these will be going home with me.
Wonderful. So tell us why you come to this event every year.
I do. I come every year because I am absolutely amazed and overwhelmed and so proud of my sisters for the work that you do for charity in every city, single city around the country that the Super Bowl comes to. The work that you do with charity, it is not a individual or personal gain. You literally feed into nonprofit organizations around the country every year during Super Bowl. And as a NFL wife, it only makes sense to support what you're doing because your hands are open to serve and give back in everything that you do. And I so commend you for that, and I am so happy to be a part of that.
Yes. No, thank you so much. And thank you always for coming and supporting, and I think it's beautiful. Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
So I used to do Floyd.
Right.
You know, I was Floyd agent and manager for like 17 years. And now that I'm a widow, I sat down for 2 years just trying to figure out who am I now, right? Because I was very happy being, Mrs. Floyd Little and catching the rays off of his sunshine. He was absolutely amazing. So this year, 2023, I am standing up again. I am the president of a company called Touchdown Presentations. I help you score in life, and I do professional speaking and trainings. And I'm also the inventor of Little More Sticks, a cosmetic tool that helps you save the 30% of cosmetics that get stuck in the bottom of your cosmetic tools.
Oh, I love that. So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at littlemoresticks.com, or you can hit me up on Little More Sticks on Facebook or Little More Sticks on Instagram.
And that is such an awesome tool because that's what we all, you're always like banging it on your hand, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I love that you do that. Well, thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread. Always a pleasure to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you you, sis. Thank you so much for everything that you do
Thank
for
you.
the entire community.
Thank you so much.
Love
I so
you.
appreciate it.
God bless everyone.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. Take care. Mwah. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Want to mention our sponsors here. Thank you so much for Shutterstock. You call the shots with Shutterstock. Live assignments, UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builder Group, and always off-the-field support that we get here. I want you to introduce yourself.
Mr. Vanell Warren, CEO of WPS TV, Dallas,
Now-
Texas.
And tell us a little bit about what you do there and what your role is and what the first network that is.
Okay. Well, what we do is, number one, we're one of the only minority-owned television broadcasting stations in the DFW area. I'm the CEO, the founder, and anything Hollywood do, we do, from documentaries to commercials to movies. We have a book publishing company called Crazy Faith Entertainment, a limousine service. So when you come in, we'll send a limousine to get you, bring you in, interview you.
I love
that. We do that. So anything from commercials to documentaries, again, stories, movies, we do it all.
Now, and how did you get involved in that?
I was actually singing on a Poets Expo, and a guy walked on stage, grabbed a mic, and gave me a card and said, "If you want to get serious, call me." So it started from there. I started acting. Then I was a guest on someone else's TV show, and I stayed there long enough to get pregnant with knowledge to give birth to my own.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So it's kind of always been there. You just-
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to act and sing doing gospel stage plays, and it just started from there, acting and singing and hosting TV shows and going from there.
Amazing. Now, and where can people find you and the
You
station?
can find us at WPSTX.tv, WPSTX.tv, and hit live, see whatever we're showing on TV right now, or check out our whole history.
That's very cool. We definitely have to talk on the side back there, but that is
We will-
very,
we
yeah,
will do
definitely.
that. Thank you.
My card is right over there, not to throw them.
Thank
I'm like, but no, it's definitely, I love what you're doing, and I think it's
Thank
so
you.
important. I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for being here.
And thank you for having
YNS
me.
Live with NFL Thread.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Do. You're going to talk right into that microphone. You're going to get close and you're going to be loud so I can hear you.
It depends. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep my voice. I kind of lost my voice last night. We were doing the NFL gospel.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
So you're
so
singing. Oh, I think I know who you are. So welcome to YNS Live with
Okay.
NFL Thread. Please introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Lamarcus Newman, former NFL player, also part of the NFL gospel choir. Work with President Obama Foundation, my brother's keeper, through an organization called Change Happens. So do a lot of different things.
That is so cool. Now, how did you get involved in the choir?
I got involved in the choir a couple of years ago when it was in Houston. Some of my good buddies asked me to be a part of the choir. I'm not gonna say I'm a good singer. I'm a pretty decent singer. And then
Well, you have to know. They wouldn't ask me to be in. I mean, I know it's a boys' choir, but they wouldn't ask me to be in any choir.
I think, be honest with you, I think it was more of my influence than anything of me singing. So they knew I had a lot of different followers on social media. And when they asked me, I was like, okay. So I loved it ever since I've been a part of the choir. And it means something good, too, because a lot of kids be involved, too.
Right. No,
Yes,
that's
it
amazing.
is.
And it also shows two different sides. You were an
Right.
NFL player, but you can also have an artistic side.
Exactly,
Because a lot of
exactly.
times, people don't think about that creative, artistic kind of outside of themselves.
Correct.
And so it's really cool that you got involved in that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about when you left the NFL. What did that look like? Where did you pivot? Kind of what was your first step out of the league?
I think I had a good transition. And the reason why I had a great transition is because I had great men that was around me and older men that was a part of the NFL, a lot of veterans. And so once I got out the NFL, I immediately got a job with the government. So I started traveling the world with the government. They stuck me in a position with the government where I was managing translators and interpreters, which I found was good because I learned different languages. So it was an easy transition for me, and it was quite rewarding because I got the opportunity to travel more overseas and travel the world a little bit more and learn a lot about myself too at the same time.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. So
Yes, it did.
and I think what you said is so important is that you had a support system.
Exactly.
Because
Very
if you don't have
important.
that support system, you kind of flail, right? And
Exactly.
anyone in life, you flail without that support system. So
Correct.
I
Exactly.
love how you had that. Now, was that something that you seeked out, or was it like you had people in your corner that were like, let's just be there for him as he's exiting the league?
I think it's something that I seeked out too, and then at the same time, I think people usually take a liking to me because I'm a personable individual. So I think it's both, So
Right.
I'm always like, I'm the type of person, if I don't know the answer to something, I'm going to find out
Right, I love
who
that. Me
knows the
too.
answer.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
love
that
that.
type of individual. Yes, indeed.
Well, wonderful. Well, please tell people where they can find you on the
Okay.
social media.
Okay, they can find me at LaMarcus Newman, LeMarcus, last name Newman, on IG platform, Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook, and LinkedIn too as well.
So you're everywhere.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I do a lot of, like I said, I do a lot of community work. Very involved in the community, and I just like to give back.
I love, and I say this all the time. This community, you guys are really a group of people that like to give back.
Correct.
I mean, you really do. You really are born with service hearts, and the fact that you have that kind of that platform being in the NFL, and then you're able to do that, I think it's beautiful.
And I'm gonna say that's one of the reasons why I had the opportunity to connect with Cynthia too as well. So Cynthia interviewed my family a couple of years ago and was talking about giving back. So ever since then, I love Cynthia very much.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of community work too as well together. So
Wonderful.
yes,
Well,
indeed.
thank you so much for joining
Yes, indeed.
YNS Live with NFL
Yes,
Thread. I
indeed.
so appreciate it, and thank you for supporting us.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I repost you too as well.
I appreciate
to
it.
get you some followers out there.
I please.
All right, pleasure to meet.
Take
Nice
care.
to meet you too
Yes,
as well.
thank you. One of our sponsors. So excited for this. So Angela Brown is here. She's a leadership and a business coach. And the whole time, when you guys saw me looking over here, I kept being like, where's Angela? I got to get her. Love the color, by the way.
Thank you. I
Looks
like
so
yours
good.
too. We compliment each other
Thank
very
you,
well.
Thank you. We do. Please introduce yourself.
Angela Brown, and I am an executive leadership coach and business coach. And I call myself the business matchmaker as well, because when I coach individuals on business, I really uncover what their true purpose, passion, and mission is. A lot of people, they kind of wander out there, they throw the ideas out there, but not really know really what they're focused on and what their sweet spot is. So through my leadership coaching, personal leadership coaching, I help people to really uncover their sweet spot so that when they go out looking for their next career or business that they want to purchase, they're really in their zone. They really know what they want to do.
And we talked a little bit outside about me being a storytelling consultant, about those stories. Everyone knows that, watches, I'm so passionate about stories because they do connect. So I love that you kind of find those little pieces and then help people thread that together into what their next pivot is. Oh, did you hear I did pivot and I did
love
thread
it.
together?
Exactly. So what I do is, I have a workbook that I created that I take all of my clients through, and it's only 38 pages, but what it really does is it uncovers who that authentic person is underneath, right? Because we'll always do our best when we're living in our own passion and not living someone else's narrative.
Right.
And so many times we get started in life and we start going off on these paths that maybe other people think we should be on, or maybe life dictates because of money or finances. You end up in a career that, it pays the bills, but it really isn't hitting on all cylinders. So when you go through this process, it really does help you uncover how you can get paid and enjoy what you're doing as well. So it could be business ownership, it could be a nonprofit, it could be whatever, but I help individuals figure out what that is and then lead them to that.
And then how did you find that?
Because I went through a time in my life where I built a multi-million-dollar business at age 23, and I built another business at age 30, and really didn't know what my next step was. I said I had a fair amount of success, but what's next? And so I floundered for 6 months to a year, kind of throwing the spaghetti up against the wall to see what stuck, and wasted a lot of time and money. And then I found a process that helped me determine what my sweet spot is, helping other people realize things about themselves that they didn't know was possible.
And what I think I love so much, we're so, not only do we match, but like what I do and what you do is like so really intertwined. What I think is so important is that you've gone through it. So you're able to then, when you talk to people, it's not like you just went to school for it. You lived that life. So you have that real life experience that you're going to be able to really kind of connect and help people.
Oh, 100%. It was through necessity that I invented this process. And it's helped so many people, because some people are in different transitions in life. Maybe they're empty nesters, or maybe they're coming out of college and really don't know what they want to do, or it could just be mid-career, whatever it is. Or you want to start your own business. So I also do business brokering. So those individuals who decide, I think I may want to be an entrepreneur and start a business or buy a business, I can help people with that.
I love that.
As well.
And you can see you're sitting right under your logo, which is so
cool.
It
was perfect.
It is perfect. Well, I can't wait to. I know we're going to be doing a lot more stuff.
Yes, I'm going to be in Kansas City for the draft.
Yes.
I'll be doing a professional development workshop there.
Which I'm so excited about. So you guys know that we bring this podcast to all those. So here at the Super Bowl, Angela's this podcast sponsor. Then we do the draft. She's going to be doing the breakout. So that is going to be so fun and also so awesome and informative for this group. What a great group to get in front of. What a great group for you to really connect with, because there's so many entrepreneurs out there in this world, and so many people that want to share their story and figure out how and what their next step is. So I love that you're doing that. So thank you so much.
I'm excited too.
Tell people where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram.
Here, go get closer there. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at AB for Angela Brown _ biz, BIZ _ broker, BROKER, under Angela Brown.
Thank you so much again for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread, and thank you for being one of our podcast sponsors. And I'm so glad you're in my life. So happy, so happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to tell that other Angela.
Okay.
Angela, that was great. Thank you. This is the camera. Yep.
Okay.
So welcome to YNS Live, and I love you too. YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside, live from Ocean 44 here in Arizona. So one of our favorites from last year, and I want to kind of preface this, because when we talked, we talked about how you were you helped Sharice be like the founding member of Off the Field, because you and Tim and Sharice would go to these events, and they would be like, go to the mall, and you're like, I don't want to go to the mall. I don't want to golf. I want to do something. So they created Off the Field. So that was like, you were really instrumental in that. And then we started talking about some tragedy and loss. And then how you had something that you really wanted to create, but you didn't know. And then we have one of our pop-up shops, Zoe Hoop here, who creates this wonderful jewelry. you were like, I got to talk to her. So please tell us a little bit about what has formed from that interaction and that meeting.
Okay. So I reached out to Miss Caroline after meeting her here last year, and we had several conversations back and forth. And I said, what can we do as a piece to recognize loss, tragedy, you missing someone that you once loved that's no longer here, something tangible, something you can hold on to. And we developed, she is the designer. I just helped her come up with the concept, but it's two people hugging each other.
That is beautiful.
Yes, that's the piece. And
so I don't, if you guys, you can, when you're watching, you can zoom in. You know that people do this? You can zoom in right there. That is beautiful.
Yeah, so it's silver bracelet, silver necklace, gold bracelet, gold necklace. And we are calling the line Eternity Shore.
That is what, and I love that the connection happens here.
Yes,
and
it happened right here at NFL Thread, baby.
And the thing that's so crazy is that Caroline was on my podcast. I think she found me on LinkedIn. I don't even remember how, but I had her talk about her story, and it's such a beautiful story.
Beautiful story.
So I contacted her. I mean, she's overseas. So I was like, hey, this is kind of crazy, but do you want to come to LA and be the pop-up shop? I think this community would love your jewelry.
Yes.
And she said, let me see. I don't know, but I think I kind of like it. She did it and then made that connection with you. And I know is here again. So you guys, Zoe Hoop, you guys have to go again. Such a beautiful story.
Zoe Hoop.
It's a wonderful what she did in her story. So I love that you guys did that. So tell them also where they can find you and.
Well, I'll give out my phone number, 310-422-6674, or my email address, AlanRAngela@gmail.com.
So wonderful. Thank you again. I'm so happy to see you. Oh my God, love to see you. Wow.
darling.
Oh my God, you look gorgeous.
Okay.
So good to see you.
Look at here.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I went to Glassboro State. Well, Rowan University. I did. So
Really? Now, where are you based at now?
So I'm in New York.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I know.
You're the first because everyone they stay there.
I know. So I'm going to get you close to the mic. Are we live? Okay. So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Renee Reese.
Okay, you're going to get closer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Renee Reese.
And we were just talking. You're an Eagles fan.
Yes, I am a diehard Eagles fan. Genuinely, my husband played for the Eagles for quite some time, and now he's working in Philadelphia on a radio station supporting Eagles sports talk, so I am a diehard Eagles.
I love that. And so, I'm wearing green. So I was just telling, my husband grew up in the Bronx. So he is a Bronx boy. He is a Giants lover. And when we met, it was like, well, wait a second, you're an Eagles fan? And I was like, yeah, I grew up right outside of Philly. That's how Cindy and I met. I actually babysat the little Zordich kids.
I cannot believe that. I heard her say that.
Yeah.
So my husband, I think Mike was probably on his way out when my husband was coming in.
Right.
So they played a little quick stint together with the Eagles, so that's awesome.
Right.
But Cindy's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is. And it's such a great team, and I'm so happy for them. And then I know, like, Andy Reid. So I'm like, this is hard because I also love Andy Reid.
I love Reid. I mean, we're close with them.
Right, because did
my
your husband
husband's
play?
entire career was with him.
Yeah.
And Tammy and I, we just have this great camaraderie. We always have done a lot of things together
Right.
while they were with the Eagles, and actually even afterwards. So I
That's
just talked to her
amazing.
yesterday. So I told her if we have to lose to anyone, which I hope we don't.
Right.
With them, I'll be so happy.
Right.
Their
Oh my
win
gosh.
is our win.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
So I am obviously a mother, a wife, and all that fun stuff. But at the current time, I am a reading specialist. I teach first, second grade, just a literary specialist. So I work with kids. Prior to that, I did a lot of fashion styling for about 10 years, and I did a lot of work with
I can see. I love this outfit.
Thank you. So it's been a journey. My husband's post-football career. just trying to finagle my time, his time, and what we were going to be doing in regards to careers. So
Right. And we talk about that on the podcast a lot because it is, when you have players and they leave the league, it's kind of the time for someone else, like their spouse, to step in. But it's also you need to be there for them. You're raising kids. It's a lot of emotions, everything that you guys go through.
There are a lot of emotions. My husband, he's a sports analyst, sports specialist, radio personality, what have you. But he started doing that in college at Michigan State. So he always knew, he's one of the very fortunate ones who always knew what he was going to be doing post-football career.
I love that, right.
I had an idea of what I was going to be doing, but I had to kind of really finagle a lot of things and, minimize and monitor and pull back just to kind of support his career.
Right.
So when I finally got to a point where I was on even ground, where we was settled, just trying to find something, was a bit more daunting because years have passed. I've been a mom, hands-on at home. So trying to get out there into the workforce, it was very daunting and a little, there was just a little struggle there.
Right. And, so I'm a mom as well. I stayed home with my kids. So then when they started getting older, I was like, what can I do? That's when I started my podcast. I did a little fitness thing for a while. And then in 2019, I started the podcast because I was feeling I needed like a creative outlet.
Yeah.
And that's it was like, I'm going to kind of daydream and think about what I want to do. So how did you decide that you wanted to go into becoming a reading specialist?
Well, I love fashion. So my journey with being a fashion stylist and working with different companies off the field, NFL, different, Neiman's, just a lot of different places. It was great, but I had to move around a lot.
Right.
It just was not conducive to our living environment.
Right.
I've always been. I went to school. I have my master's degree in education. I studied English education, undergrad at Michigan State. So it was a natural, process. It's something I love doing, working with kids and whatnot.
Right.
Even still, a lot more structured and settled, as opposed to being a fashion stylist.
Right.
So that took a lot of getting used to. But once my husband's, obviously his career settled, and he was he does, radio every day. Then that gave me an opportunity to really settle and to really embrace my career as a reading specialist.
That's amazing. I love that. And I love that journey because it is, you kind of dabble in different things that you love, but the fact that you went back to what you did in school is beautiful.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
And now, did you anything with the fashion, or you just are fashionable yourself? Or are you the one that your friends
not
call?
Not a stylist, not a cut-in. You mean, was I ever making anything?
No, I mean, are you the one that your friends go to and they're like, hey, can you tell me if this looks good? So you still get
They did at one time. I'm not sure if they're so much interested in my teacher wardrobe these days.
Right.
Which I have to say that, I get a lot of, I still try to keep it, working and everything with kids, but, you switch out your stilettos and and everything, and Birkenstocks are like my go-to for work.
Well, that's comfortable. You got to be comfortable.
And Doc Martens, so
I love
go
it.
from there.
I love it. Well, thank you. Can you tell people where they can find you if they want to know a little bit more about you? Do you have any social media?
I do still social media at Jada Renee Style. They can always look at me, or on via my husband's handle, because I try to stay a little. I'm not very integrated into social media, especially with teaching,
right?
Because I don't want to fall into something I shouldn't.
That's smart. Yep, that's smart.
So,
that's smart. Yes.
But
well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
And listen, go Birds.
Yeah, you can say it loud in there.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got my green on. Thank you so much. Yep, can we go? Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread, here live at Ocean 44 in Arizona, live on Fireside. Please introduce yourself. And oh my God, I love that top.
Thank you so much. My name is Serena Murphy. I'm from Tampa, Florida. I'm a former NFL wife, and I am super excited for this Super Bowl because, you know, COVID happened, everything shut down, and we're back to normal.
Yes.
We're back to normal, guys, and I love it.
Yes. Well, because even last year, I mean, we did this event last year, but I remember there was still, it was like a touch and go thing with with COVID. It was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to do this. You might not be able to do that. Traveling to LA, it was all. So I feel like this is the first year.
Yes.
It's like not talked about. It's like we are back to regular life.
Regular schedule program.
Right. So, okay. So what do you do? I mean, do you have a fashion background at all, or are you just?
I don't. I just love fashion.
Yeah.
I've always been a fashion person ever since I was in middle school.
Oh,
I just love it. So I am a multi-entrepreneur. I do have a seasoning business. I'm a mentor to different, people that wants to have businesses. I'm a what is it called? Motivational speaker. I mean, I do so much. It's just like I got my hands so much in a
But that's
pie.
what you're gonna do.
You know how they say you need to stay in one lane. I don't stay in one lane, guys.
I
I take up the entire highway. You know what I mean? So that's just me.
I love that. No, and I'm the same way. But the thing is, sometimes when people will say, like, if you have multiple passions, what do you do? And what I always kind of talk about, so I'm a storytelling consultant also with my podcast, and I help the people, okay, these are the paths that we've done, right? You've done. When you're passionate about something, if you can talk about something all day long, that is a passion. I have multiple passions.
Yes.
And I can talk probably like 3 of those passions all day long. The other ones, I dabble. So I know that those 3 things are like what I do. So I love that you have those core things that you know that you love.
Yes.
And that you're out there helping other people, because that's what we need. We need to be
Absolutely.
out there. We need to kind of shout from the rooftops, give people our energy, you know, because sometimes, especially after, COVID and all that went on, it's really important. So
It's very important.
How did you get involved in your multi-entrepreneur world?
So I've always been a person that has been driven to be in my own lane. You know, I've worked in Fortune 500 companies. I worked in, working at a college and everything. It just wasn't for me. And I've always wanted to do something that was for myself, to build a legacy for not only my daughter, she's 18. And
oh my goodness.
I know, I look good for my age.
Yes, you do.
So yes, I have an 18-year-old. She's soon to be going to college. But, just leaving a legacy, and sometimes you can't just really leave a legacy from a 9 to 5. And a 9 to 5 is not for everybody.
Right.
It wasn't for me. So
I hear you.
Yeah.
It wasn't. No, I'm the same. And I have a 17-year-old, and I was like, you're 30 years younger than me.
You look amazing.
Well, thank you. But I mean, wow. So I love that. And I think it's so important for people to think about that. What I always say is, some people call it meditating. I call it daydreaming.
Yes.
It's really important to kind of think about in your mind what you want your life to look at and look like, and then take those little steps to be like, hey, how does that look? What can I do? And that's how I dreamed up my podcast. I was walking my dogs, and literally podcasts kept coming to me. And I'm like, I love stories. I love talking. I love talking to other people and learning about other people. So that's when I created YNS Live. And Your Next Stop is my main podcast. And then I have 4 other shows. So It's like really, really fun. So I love that what you're doing. Tell people where they can find you.
So my social media is Serena, SARINA_813. I do have a seasoning business. It's Aniris Spices, which is my name spelled backwards because I'm different,
Oh,
you know.
I love that.
So that's ANIRAS spices.com. So you can find me in those different ways. I'm also in the process of working with VH1 for, a project. I'm not going to too much say a lot about it, but I'm super excited because I've been trying to pitch this podcast. I mean, not podcast, but I've been trying to pitch this project for at least 3 years, and I am closer than I ever been. So I'm super excited.
So definitely go follow so
Yes.
you guys can see what's going to happen with VH1.
It's so crazy because, things align, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to the Soul Train Awards, and I was sitting next to an executive of VH1. I pitched my show. They loved it, and they
So
told me to
smart.
send it over, and I didn't have to go through any red tape, so I'm super excited about
Right.
that.
Well, and that's the thing. You sat next to the person that was like what was meant to happen.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank
oh,
you
now I
so
can't
much.
wait. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Well,
Yes.
congratulations. And thank you again for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for this Super Bowl this year. I'm super excited for everything that's coming for NFL Thread, for yourself. Let's keep it moving.
Yes, yes. And don't stay in your own lane. Go
Don't
out.
stay in your own lane.
Yeah, go
Take
go
up the
out.
whole highway.
I love that's a great quote.
Thank you
again.
so
Oh my God,
much.
Thank
it
you
was a
so much.
pleasure.
You too.
All right.
Hold on, we're ready now.
That wasn't real. That's all I had for you.
So
That was it.
welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside, live from Ocean 44. So
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
My name is Candace Price. Quick synopsis about me: from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Went to USC. Met my husband, who went to UCLA. It's all love there because at the time my football team was better, but he reminds me that I didn't play football. I went on to run track for the USA team for about 12 years. My husband got drafted. I don't want to mess up his draft pick, so I'll just say he was drafted, played for the Bucks, Bears, and the Cowboys. And we're just here at Super Bowl eating good oysters and lots of shrimp.
And look how good we look together. I mean,
Twinning.
even with the same like little
Ruching? Is that what it's called? Ruching?
I guess I don't know.
know.
You're asking the wrong person. So okay, are you modeling tomorrow?
I am.
Yes, I
Yes.
knew it when you said the track and field thing. I was like, oh, I read this bio.
Oh, yeah.
Because oh my God, so I played field hockey and lacrosse in college.
Boom.
Yeah.
I wanted to do field hockey, but it was in the spring, so I never could bust heads. But
Right.
that's
See,
awesome.
it was fall where I am.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I'm in the East Coast. But
Okay.
I love that. Right. So I couldn't do, and then I did lacrosse. So I did winter track.
lacrosse, yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
do. I couldn't do spring track.
Right,
So
right.
I'm so excited. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're wearing tomorrow?
Well, it's such a big reveal. It's going to be high-end couture from Dillard's. I told the ladies, I was like, I don't really care what I wear, so just give me what no one else wants. So they're like, well, there's some really good looks at Dillard's. I was like, oh, that's my price point. Let's do this.
Right.
It was really important for me. I'm a mom. I'm a track coach. I'm a busybody, so I wanted something that I could actually walk down, feel good about. So I will tell you I have silver cowboy boots, and that's all.
Nice. Okay, and now I want to know, what did you run?
I ran the 100-meter hurdles. So that's about the length of a football field with 10 hurdles
Yeah,
in
no,
between.
I
Yeah.
have mad love for you because I did not do hurdles. A little bit, but I was a sprinter, so I did the 55 and the 100. Yeah,
You got some wheels. Okay.
I did, and I wasn't interested. So I always had not the regular uniform.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
always in the big pants, and people were like, "Okay, she's not going to be fast," and then I'd blow people away.
Oh, no, I love
and they'd be like, "Holy crap! Why don't you get the real outfit?"
So there's this really, and I say this, there's this girl named Abby Snyder, a beige young lady. She's dominating the sprints from Kentucky. So you have to
Wow.
look her up. She was a soccer player turned track, I think concussions or something, and now she's
Okay.
one of the most sought after young women in track and
Ooh, I
field.
definitely have to
Abby
look at
Snyder.
that. Wonderful. Now, okay, so when you had kids, are your kids? Did they get speed?
One is insane speed. Yeah, they got some speed. They're
Yeah.
faster than the average bear, I would say.
Yeah. My 3 as
They
well.
clean their rooms like they're not
No,
fast.
no,
but yeah.
no. And how old?
I got a 10, 5, and a 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I have 17, 15, 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I coach high school girls. So
Oh
I
yeah,
get a little
yeah.
bit.
I'm in teenage world.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
Oh,
Oh my God. So how did you get involved in the coaching?
So honestly, I had an incredible coach my high school career who sent women to, I mean, everywhere from Columbia to Texas to USC, and I was just like forever grateful. Went on to college, had my professional coach. He was amazing, and then as I started transitioning back into my own community, my high school coach passed away, and he ran this track club for over like 70 years, and his wife were like, "Can you fill in?" I'm like, "I've never coached anybody." I
Right.
was still training for the Olympics, very selfish athlete mindset. And then I was like, wait, I went to USC for free. I traveled the world, and all because of somebody gave me track spikes out of a lost and found. How dare you?
Oh,
So I was like, this
amazing.
is my opportunity to pay it forward. I run a free, and I say free meaning like you show up and you come on time, I train you. I don't charge for my
love that.
services, and people are like, you're insane. I'm like, I'm paying what could never be repaid for me forward. So I've sent a few girls. My first girl that I ever sent to college, she went to Ohio State. She just graduated this May, and she's debt free. I sent a girl to Vanderbilt this year, and one's on their way to Howard.
Oh my God, I could like totally. I mean,
So
amazing.
I'm grateful that I have a gift, and the parents and I'll be honest, the parents and the kids that trust me, they get it all. The ones that don't, I say you got to kick rocks. I'm not for you.
Right. That's amazing. Where can people find you?
Ann Arbor, Michigan. Catch Candace is my Instagram. I actually cover local sports. Keeping it candid with Candace is going to become my thing. I've been working to try and reinvent what it looks like to interview an athlete as an athlete. I get a bit frustrated when I see male or female the interviews just ask like dumb questions.
Right,
Like,
right.
How do you think he felt? He's tired. Duh. So making sure that I can create that connection with the athlete and just have that perspective that I uniquely work so hard to get. So.
I love that. I love your story. I think it's, and again,
I
stories
love you.
connect.
Keep talking about me.
Yeah, and look, we're so cute with our matches. But seriously, I mean, your story, and this is what's so important: the connection. Like the fact that you just said you had you were training and you had that kind of selfish mindset. We all can understand that.
Yes.
But then, so was it like a slow grad of like, I need to stop and do it, or was it like over time you thought about it?
It took time. I was like in between. I was a mom. I was coming back off my Olympics. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to breastfeed. And you want me to coach
Right.
you? Like, come on.
That's hard, yeah.
But then seeing how much more I was stretching myself, I was getting so much more in return. Practices were easier. People in the community would help watch my kids. I was training in Michigan, which was no sun, but a local college was like, well, if you volunteer. So things were starting to fall as I stretched myself more. And then my daughter, I had her, and I was like, you know what? I don't want you to feel like I didn't go back to training because of you. And that was very, very important to me.
You're right.
So just making sure, just like any woman that decides to go back to work and have their career, you want to be that stay-at-home mom, but it's like, you're going to be 16 one day. I want you to be like, hey, look at mom.
Right.
So that was kind
Right.
of the force behind that.
I love that. Oh my God, I love your story. We need to talk more because
Okay.
I love what you're doing, and I just, we do so many different. I have 4 different shows.
Oh.
So I wanted to, yeah.
Slide me in, whatever
Yeah.
time zone you need.
No, right. No, but it's so important what you're doing, and I love that you were honest and real about like, yeah, no, it didn't fit in, but people can see that.
Absolutely.
All those different things. It wasn't that you just had a selfish mindset. You also had other things in your life that you were like, well, how am I going to fit this in? I'm trying to figure
I'll
out.
be honest, there's no playbook, and no pun intended. The
Right,
playbook,
right.
there is none. I just was given a lot of faith to God and my community, and trusting. Like, look, I went to a $90,000 school for free. I'm not
Right.
out here going to pretend. The kids I was going to school, their parents were writing checks. I was like, who's got that kind of money?
Right.
So I'm just like, if you can go to college for free, you can go work at Whole Foods and be content. You can go to South Africa, give malaria shots, and you're not going to be on my taxes. You're going to be one more contributing member to society I ain't got to worry about.
Right.
So the idea of really taking these young women and making them better than I was, and I was great. I'm like, I don't got to
love
worry
that.
about society. So I'm just really grateful I've been given the gifts, and then an opportunity like this to have a conversation.
No, I love it, and I love it, and guys, tune in tomorrow so you can see what Candace is wearing.
Yes. I hope
we know
they're
that you
playing Beyonce. If they play Beyonce, I'm gonna rip the runway. But anything,
Oh, you
I'll
got
be happy.
you got. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wow.
It was a
Oh my God,
pleasure.
so good. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Here live on Fireside, live from Ocean 44. I want to thank our sponsors, Shutterstock. You call the shots, the Shutterstock Live assignments, UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builder Group, and also Off the Field for always supporting us. And Zoe Hoop, who is in the back with the pop-up shop for jewelry. Guys, definitely check her out. So I have to have you introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Hagar Pierman. So I'm a former NFL wife. My husband played for the Cincinnati Bengals for 9 years.
And you're going to be a model tomorrow as well. Yes, I saw that name and I was like, yes. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I'm so excited to be here. We just had baby number 5. So
you did
just a couple of weeks ago. So just coming out is just so special, just to be with all these women.
A couple weeks ago. I mean, I know it's your 5th, so you're like, whatever, but still.
No, it's just amazing to be behind the scenes, getting to know the women and their hearts. You just get to see a whole different side of the NFL.
Right, I love it. And what you guys can't see, she's got beautiful pink pants on with that pink lipstick and that necklace. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait. Can we know a little bit about what you're wearing in the fashion show tomorrow?
Yes, it's Michael Kors. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Michael Kors and some sparkle in there, and let's just hope I stay on my feet.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. So I grew up. I'm one of 5. So yeah, so I love that big family.
Good, and you're loved, and yes, that's good.
Yeah.
I think as you have more kids, you just think, can I love each of them and give each of them enough attention? But you learn that your love is equal for all of them. So
yes,
it's amazing.
no, it's amazing. It's amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so there's a lot. So first and foremost, I'm a wife. So my husband, even though he's retired for a few years, my job's to stand by his side and encourage and uplift him. So he's doing just that for me. So I am a resident physician at UNC, so at the University of North Carolina. So doing that with 5 kids, working 80 hours a week, we need a team effort to sustain through. So it took a lot of discipline for me to get to where I am. I swam growing up, so I was a swimmer in college. I was a swimmer professionally. So you see how seeds were planted through your life, and you figure out, I think, as you grow up, just how those things made you who you are today.
Right.
So,
oh my gosh, I love what stroke?
Sprint free. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that was 15 years ago.
Right. No, I mean, so you were asking. So I played field hockey and lacrosse in college. Yeah, loved.
Yes. Oh, I can tell. You still look like
thanks.
that.
Oh, thanks. Well, my kids are old now. I mean, 17, 15, and 13. So, yeah, but you know, it's always, and when you have that background of athletics, it really gives you a discipline.
I agree.
So tell us a little bit about that. As you're raising your family, have your career, what that kind of you bring from when you were training, because you were training. I mean, you said you played, you were swam in college and then professionally.
Yes, I mean, my training, it got up to almost 8 hours a day. So you have to balance that with balancing your schoolwork, and then you kind of see how that prepares you for motherhood, because your job's to just tackle and take on so many tasks at the same time. And being a resident physician, we're kind of the backbone of the hospital system right now. So we're kind of holding up our healthcare system in a sense. So we're working almost 80 hours a week.
Right.
So to pull those kinds of hours and then still be responsible for the home and making sure that the kids have what they need, and also to encourage your husband at that point. So I would say, if anything, it taught me how to multitask and how to execute each of those things well. So my husband always says, he had a coach say, you don't get any medals for trying, but you do get some for executing things out. So we both bring in that athletic mentality of just making sure that every task that we do, that we execute it and we give it our best effort.
That's amazing. So what made you want to go into the medical world and be a doctor?
Oh, that seed was planted when I was little. I think you just grow up with a heart just to help other people. You don't really know how that fits in kind of with different specialties. But just going through college, you know that you want to be in medicine in some way. I wanted to be that person that if someone got hurt on the football field, I wanted to be the person that ran up. And I had no idea what they were.
Right.
So now that I'm in my training and have gone through God knows how many years of college, you learn a little bit more about that, and that dream kind of gets fueled a little bit more.
Oh, that's beautiful. So where can people follow you on social media? Do you have social media? Yeah.
Yes, please see me. I think my goal is just to empower and encourage women, especially diversity, and especially in medicine. So find me at Hagar Pierman. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep,
Yeah, because what you're doing is, and this is the thing, so many people think, like someone might be listening to your story and be like, 5 kids, swimmer, like, okay, high achiever, right? But we all need to think about what you did say is, there was a time in our lives that they would say women can do it all. And I think women can do it all, but not all at once.
Agreed.
There's all different times that we can do it all. And that pressure, kind of when it takes it down a little bit, it's like, no, but I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I might not do it all at that same time, but kind of growing and growing as a woman, as a mother, as a professional. So tell us a little bit about that, what your thoughts are.
I agree. I think in college you think that I can take on the world. I can
Right.
take on everything. But I think as you age and as you have kids, you learn that something is going to sacrifice. And right now it's my time with the kids, and that's not my hope. That's not my goal for myself. So I think after I'm done with my training, I'm going to try to put that time back with the kids. So it's just a balance. You go through different seasons. My friend says this is just a season of grace for us. So grace with ourselves, grace with each other, grace with the kids. It's just understanding that when we can't meet where we're needed, that God is going to help us kind of extend us through and pull us through. So our faith has been a backbone for us, and that's what sustains us through. So it's knowing where you end and where He takes over.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I cannot. Guys, you got to tune in tomorrow to see what you're wearing. Oh my God, I'm excited.
Thank you. It is so nice
And we'll
meeting
see you hopefully on the red
Amazing.
carpet as well.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you for
having me.
joining.
Amazing.
Thank you for We're continuing. We're good? So you're going to get close to that. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Yeah, you can sit.
Okay.
Here comes that. I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ebony Granger. I am a business coach with Granger Financial, a company my husband and I own together.
Now, are you modeling tomorrow as well?
I am not modeling tomorrow.
Okay.
I am actually supporting my girlfriend, Ramonda.
Oh, wow, wonderful. Okay, I read about you. I could it be something? I thought I read your name, but I read a bio about you somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. So that's so nice. You're here supporting.
I'm here to
Ramonda.
support her. I'm going to help. I'm going to volunteer tomorrow. She's been trying to get me out to this event. I said, I will come and support you in any way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So how did you and your husband start your own business?
So it's ironic. My background is in psychology and counseling. I have a master's in psychology and counseling. And for years, I was doing work in that field. My husband worked with one of the Fortune 50 insurance companies. And he was like, listen, we're going to do our own thing. And nobody's going to do this better than we're going to do it together. And I grew up watching my family. I have an uncle that has like 10 McDonald's franchises.
Okay.
And he and my aunt just like created this amazing legacy together.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm down for that. I'm a little overworked and underpaid. Let's do it.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't think about that. That's why I always think it's like being curious, asking questions, kind of dreaming about like what you want your life to work and
Right.
how you want it to be.
Yep.
The fact that you saw, your aunt and uncle do that is really cool that you're like, I
have
can
a
do that.
model. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So how many years ago did you start that?
So we started our business in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Okay.
It was insane, but it's been amazing. We've been in the field for over 15 years, but branched out on our own in 2019.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's about the timing, right?
timing
It probably
is
was-
everything.
right. It probably was timing. It gave you things to do, and I'm
Yes.
not going to put words in your mouth, but things to do. But then also the pandemic gave us a little time to step back and be like, well, wait a second. What do I want to change? How do I want to do things
Yes.
different? Do I want to do that?
And how do I want to do it? And the amazing thing about the pandemic, unfortunately, is that everybody was watching.
Right.
So you had the opportunity to be in front of the world. And
Right.
that was it. And we just were like, let's do it.
That's amazing. So where can people find you?
So we are actually outside of DC in Northern Virginia. Granger Financial is our website, or Instagram at Granger Financial. Jeff Granger, he's our CEO. I'm the COO. And together, I always say, I do people, he does numbers, and together you get a great team.
That's all. I love that tagline. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining YNS
Yes.
Live, and thank you for being here with Ramonda and supporting.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Take care. I need to use the bathroom. Do we have a line of people waiting?
We do, but take 5 minutes.
I maybe can. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Camille's. Okay, Camille, right? Camille, that's how I say. Yes, I met you earlier. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread, live at Ocean 44 here, live on Fireside. So excited for our next guest, Camille. How are you?
Yes.
And I see Camille's keys. I want to know all about
Yes,
that.
Camille's Keys.
So
Yes.
introduce yourself and then we'll get into it.
Absolutely. My name is Camille Jenkins. I'm the wife of Marte Jenkins, former wide receiver for the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals. And I own a company called Camille's Keys. We are a consulting firm for companies looking to improve their customer experience. So my last 30 years has been in construction and real estate. I was vice president, national vice president for Meritage Homes, the 5th largest home builder. And I oversaw just about anything that had to do with the customer. So I kind of broke out in my own business about 18 months ago, and I consult for real estate, healthcare, and hospitality if
Wonderful.
they want to improve their customer experience.
Now,
Yeah.
what made you decide to go out on your own?
Stress, the pandemic.
Okay.
You know, during the pandemic, obviously people were very concerned about lots of things, but also if they were in the process of buying, selling, or had just recently
Right.
purchased a home, you know, hey, nobody's coming out here to work in my home because we didn't want to be around other people, right? So I was dealing with a lot of life coaching, as I would say it, and it just kind of burned me out. And I realized that I had the opportunity to help lots of other businesses overcome that.
So for anyone that's listening, that's like, you know, I kind of want to do the entrepreneur thing, but I don't know. What would you say to them? Like, what was the first step that you took?
The first step was preparing. Like the 3 years prior to that, I was getting my finances in order, making sure that my husband's career was up and running because, as with all NFL players, he had his pivot. And so I had to stay stable during his pivot to make sure that we could be in a position if I wanted to change, I could. And then doing a lot of soul searching, homework, reaching out to others that had done it. It is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
You know, you're basically hustling for a paycheck every day, but I'm enjoying the change.
That's amazing, amazing. Well, where can people find you?
www.camilleskeys.com. That's my website. And that's the best place to
That's
find
best.
me.
Well, thank you so much for joining. And
Thank
you know,
you.
as everyone knows, this is just a short form. We might have to
Right.
dive in a little bit more into
Yeah.
your story. So after this event, we get some of the people that are on here.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more deep because I have so many questions, but I know we have a lot of people that are
Right,
waiting.
because the
but-
pivot is real.
Yes.
And I actually got with my husband at the end of his career. So the pivot was my initial experience.
Oh, wow.
And I spent a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
time in that pivot with him. So I would love to do that
Yes,
at another
please.
time.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
YNS
and you
Live
look
with NFL
gorgeous.
Thread. Thank you, sir, to you.
Thank you so
You
much.
have a good one.
All right, you too.
I will. So yeah, you got. So remind me of your birthday. Marte. Okay. Yeah. Are we on? So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. So this is Camille's husband that was supposed to be filming, if you guys heard before. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Marte Jenkins. I'm a former Cardinal player for the Arizona Cardinals as well as Dallas Cowboys. And just to clear my name, I got video and pictures.
Oh.
And also, I had somebody take a picture of me in the background.
Oh, so he was good. We just didn't see him.
I have receipts. So if everybody thinks I'm not being a great husband, I mean, I do have receipts for that. So I
like the backup, and you were
Most
standing right there. We
Most
didn't see
definitely.
you over there. So yes,
I
thank
got
you so
video.
much. So we were just talking about pivoting out of the league.
Most definitely.
So not to go down that dark place, but I would love for you to talk a little bit about what it was like when you knew your career was coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, where were you, and then where did that lead you?
Well, I mean making that transition into the lead is a difficult process for anybody. I
Anyone.
don't care if you're a Hall of Famer or you were a free agent. You know, it's a difficult process to make that transition to the real world because everybody is on the same schedule when you're playing ball. No matter who you are, you're on the same schedule. You have the same off season, you have the same regular season, OTAs, the whole nine. So making that transition to the real world when you're thinking that I'm at the top of the pinnacle, and then you go out into the real world, you're like, I wasn't prepared for that.
Right.
You know, it's a difficult transition, but the thing about it is if you have a strong woman on your side, you know, it really makes it softens the blow. Well, it really does.
Right, and I think, you know, we've had many people on the show talking about pivot. Ricky and Katharina, who are over there, we had them really talk about the transition and leaving the league. And as you said, and this is one of the things why I think it's so important for what I do to bring these stories out, because it doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter. If you're doing something that you were meant to do and you love it to the core, and it's taken away from you for whatever reason, whether it's an injury, your time, the league, it's going to sting. And if you don't have someone in your corner that's going to help you, and it doesn't, you know, and really when you're at that level in professional sports, it's at a different level. But anyone, you know, doctors that lose an arm or something like they have to stop.
Definitely.
There's people that go out of it, but we as a society need to be better because we need to think about players like you that we watch on the screen that we love, and then you leave, and it's not like, oh, who else is going to get his number?
Yeah,
it's like,
who's next up? Who's next in line?
That we need to be better, and that's why these stories are so important for us to get out there, because you sharing your story is going to connect with someone else, and they're going to say, wait a second. Shame on me for not doing. And I have to tell you a little story. When I first interviewed Cynthia on my podcast, I started my podcast before I started this live show, and she was talking about when Michael got traded to a different team.
Oh, it's cutthroat.
Cutthroat.
It's cutthroat.
And then she started talking about the process. And I remember, I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a daughter. My boys are really, and my husband, super sports fans. And every time they would say someone got traded, I'd be like, oh, that's amazing. I said, I'm not doing that anymore. I think and now my kids are like, you're so annoying. You have to put feeling to everything, which I do. But it's like, well, let's think about their family. Let's think about the people going.
Everybody has a transition.
Right.
Like when I literally got traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Arizona Cardinals, it was a 4-hour window.
Oh.
You know, where I had to have a suitcase full of dirty clothes and a suitcase full of clean clothes.
Right.
Leave my truck. I was a single parent at the time, my son. I had to leave him with a family member because everything happened so fast. And people don't realize the transition and the adjustments that you really have to make. So I got traded. It was a 4-hour window. I got to Arizona at 10 o'clock at night on Monday.
Right.
This is week 1. So Tuesday, you get your physical. You go to the locker room, get your playbook, everything. Wednesday, you're full pad practice. We have a game on Sunday.
Right. Oh.
It was literally week 1. And you had to make those adjustments. And my son's back home. My truck is back home.
Right.
I'm like...
And your heart's back home.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. So you really have to make adjustment, but it really does build strength and character for the long haul.
Right.
So... in the long haul, throughout marriage and kids and life and everything, it built such a strong foundation that I always had that to lean back on in my work ethic.
Right.
You don't get to where you're at in the NFL without work ethic.
Right.
So being able to lean back on your foundation, that's what gets you kind of through the transition from being an NFL player through to being a normal taxpaying citizen.
Right.
It's a big difference. And then you go, and you may go work somewhere and people are like, what are you doing here?
Right.
You played in the NFL. What are you doing here?
Right.
I made $175,000 my rookie year.
Right. I have to work, right?
It's not like, people made way more money than me and I'm playing in the NFL. They looked at me like I was a millionaire.
Right.
So
that's hard. There's so many things to look at and think about it. That's
most
very
definitely.
hard.
So, just to kind of break down everything, and it was a lot to process when you're going into transitioning from NFL or play any professional sport to the real world.
Right.
Because your schedule changes. Everything changes.
Man, that's hard.
So yeah, it's a very good, it's a serious transition, and some people can actually benefit from that transition, and some people kind of fall by the wayside. And
Right.
it's very disappointing that that we do have a lot of people that don't make that transition smoothly. I
Right.
should say, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not a smooth
Right.
transition.
But you sharing that is so important. So tell people where they can follow you.
I don't know. I'm not a social media guy.
Okay, well then tell us what are you doing now?
I'm a real estate agent.
Love
So I do
it.
real estate. Yeah, I do real estate, and I support my wife to the fullest. She left a job in corporate world.
That's what she was saying.
For
Yeah.
21 years, and took the leap of faith to say I'm gonna go out on my own and make it happen.
And
for
so
her.
you guys are building that kind of excitingly
Yes,
together.
yes,
And how
most
did
definitely.
how did you get into real estate? What made you choose real estate?
Well, the funny thing about it is when we were dating, we both was in real estate school.
Okay.
So we both was in real estate school. She ended up getting her license. I got a call from the Broncos to sign a 2-year deal with the Broncos. I went to do that. She went to real estate, went to real estate school, and fast forward, she's had her real estate license for 18 years, and I've only had mine for 3.
Yeah, but because God had other plans.
Yeah, most definitely.
You
most
had to
definitely.
put that on the side.
Everything happened for a reason,
Right.
And that's the whole thing about the transition from the NFL. Because when I got released from the Broncos, I was not even in the headspace or mental capacity to go back and study for my real estate test.
Right.
So being in that mindset, it was. And I understand. My wife told me I was in a state of depression.
Right.
She didn't want to tell me that. I'm like,
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
Right. I'm adapting. I'm good. But she's the one that said, "Hey, I think you're depressed."
Right. And it's so important, as you said, to have that support.
Most definitely. It's been very beneficial to me, and and that's why I'm here. I support her 100%. She's like, "This is your week." It's an NFL thing. I'm like, no, but there's a lot of things for the NFL wives.
And I love that. And I love that you said that, because even like tomorrow at the fashion show and stuff.
Yeah, that's her.
But these are the kind of stories, because we don't get to hear these stories, right? You hear about all the negative things, or the husband not supporting the wife.
Definitely.
And people like you and your relationship, people are going to listen to that and be like, I love that. Like, you guys are truly in love. Your sport is amazing, and I say that all the time.
That is my queen.
Yes, amazing. Well, it's so nice to meet you.
She's the rock, and I'm pretty sure it's not just me. I'm pretty sure this with a multiple of professional wives, or just wives in general, that their wife is the foundation of why everything works as smoothly as it does, but they're behind the scenes, so they don't get the recognition. So things of these kind of events, the fashion show is my way of being able to say, hey, I'm giving back to you.
That's so
awesome.
awesome.
This is your stage. This is you. You've done this, and it's just a great thing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for
Really
joining
appreciate
YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside. I'm just going to give a shout out to Shutterstock, UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builder Group, and Off the Field for always supporting us, and Ocean 44 for housing us here, and Fireside for streaming us live. So can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's just such an honor. My name is Tiffany J. Norwood. I am founder and CEO of Your Emotions Matter.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So many questions, but what brings you here today to this event?
Okay. To bring awareness of emotional intelligence. I help gentlemen athletes and their families learn how to understand, express, and manage their emotions for better communication, for more respect and appreciation in their relationship, just overall, just good personal growth, and being able to just make it more healthy and just longevity in a relationship.
I love that. And I am a storytelling consultant. Communication is, to me, like, the most important thing in all parts of life.
That's right.
As you said, relationships, the way you kind of hold yourself to the world, and not everyone knows how to do it.
Exactly.
It's one of those things. Some people, God gave it to them. Other people have to practice a little bit. So how did you get involved in that part of the world?
Yes. I've been married for 17 years, just come out of a 21-year relationship, and we struggled all the way through. And I knew that during that time there was something going on with the emotions, how the emotions were being handled in our relationship. And it just was the demise of it. So, of course, as a wife, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. How can we fix this? I want a better marriage. And I did my research, and I found a term called emotional intelligence.
Right.
And it said, if you get a divorce, one or both of the partners are lacking emotional intelligence. I'm saying, what is this?
Right.
So I decided to do research and read up on it, and I just continued to do that, and that was the answer. That's the secret sauce, like the foundation of everything. Right. Like we cheat, we holler, we scream, we get angry, but under the foundation of what no one talks about, what we didn't learn in school was how to manage our emotions.
Right, which is so cool, and it's so awesome how you decided to do that. So that's what, people will hear this and listen to this and say, interesting, it was a life experience that you had that then brought you into what you do. And so many people kind of miss that in their lives, especially people that are struggling and what to do next in their life.
Exactly.
It's really interesting if they kind of just get a little introspective and think, okay, what is next? What am I supposed to be doing? Why did God put me on this earth?
Exactly.
Asking those questions is when you find what you're meant to do.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, that was my purpose. That was really gave me the confidence to leave, and I'm not, advocating just leave, but it gave me the confidence because I found my purpose. I had everything. I had the tall, dark, and handsome husband. I had the house with the white picket fence and the 3 beautiful daughters. Everything but the dog. Right. But I was still feeling empty.
Right.
I would come home from work and I'm like, what? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing here? It has to be more than this. So when I found emotional intelligence and began, learning that, becoming certified in that, and deciding to, help the men especially because they're being left out. There's a lot of women empowerment and help out there for the women, but the men are left behind and struggling in silence. And a lot of relationships, men and women are struggling in silence. And that's was the foundation of Your Emotions Matter.
Right. And so tell people where they can find you.
They can find me under His Emotions Matter or YourEmotionsMatter.com.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining.
My
and I love the green.
Thank
I love
you
the
so
green.
Much. Love it on you as well.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Such a pleasure to have you on YNS Live.
All right.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
So we're here live on Fireside. I'm going to drink some water because I am thirsty. Haven't eaten anything, but we are bringing you guys some behind the scenes, which I think is amazing.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Testing.
Okay, good. No, that was loud.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be loud.
So
And I'll go out and tell you loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I never
oh my
really
God,
had to talk
amazing.
on the field.
Wait, yeah, let's put this
So
over
it
here.
was like
Thank
it was
you.
like a lot of pointing in, like, you know.
Is there salty
Yeah.
stuff? Salty
So,
stuff.
yeah, you know.
Careful,
you can't give away the play.
Are we good? So welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside. So can you guys introduce yourselves, please?
Oh, I'm Anthony Clement.
And I'm his wife, Fatima Clement.
Well, it's nice to have you guys here. So,
thank you.
Is this your first NFL Thread event?
Yes.
Yes.
It
Yes,
is.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know how you guys found out about it.
Cynthia, actually I'm with Off the Field, Wise Organization, and so an email had came across, and so I signed up, and now we're here to come
I love
and enjoy
it.
the event.
And then you were like, I got to bring my husband, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Cynthia's been doing these for 7 years. The podcast has just been here since last year.
Okay.
But when you kind of walked in, what was your feel?
Well, we eat here, so it was kind of like, okay, we're coming to eat too, but we're
right.
going to meet some amazing people. And so we just wanted to just basically show up and show our support because we need this type of support. There is life after football, but most people don't understand that, but there is life after football. And this is a great organization to definitely get involved with. And I did reach out to Cynthia and told her, please keep me in touch because we fly. So we will come to anything she needs us to be a guest appearance for. We're open
Love
for
it. Wonderful. So you wanted to be involved in the event, right?
Yes, I did. Of course, because I am her husband, and yes, I should be involved. But like I think like one of the best things is like listening to him talk, listening to UBS talk, because it's a lot of truth to this and things that are going on. As husbands of NFL, we do need to communicate with our wives more. They do need to know what's going on. They do need to know everything that's in the household. Because if something happens to us, they have to take over. And it's hard to take over when you have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And so that's why I was really happy they spoke earlier today about that.
Right. Well, and there's so many things, it's gotten better generation after generation, but, even from when boys are little, this is how a boy should be, this is how a girl should be. And it's still, sometimes, even though we know we don't do it, it's still, you have those things. With athletes, it's the same thing. Like, I was just talking to, someone about when you pivot out of the league, us as a society, I call myself the lay person because I'm not in the league, but it's really important that we think about the stories and the people behind that. What does that look like? This was something that you wanted to do for your whole life, and now you can't anymore for whatever reason, whether an injury, age, it's just not your time anymore. But we need to put the emotions behind it, and it doesn't have to be this big sad party, but let's think about it and respect it. Okay, that person is leaving something that they've loved forever. Let's think, what does that look like? Where can I be to support them? And the fact that, the spouses that are there behind the scenes. We've had many people on Pivot, and a lot of times they say, it's the wives that say to the husband, I think you might be depressed. I think we need to look more into this, that support system. So how do you guys support each other?
Well, I've been with him most of his career. So we did go through the trauma and the mental breakdown where he didn't realize he was depressed. And then once he did realize he was depressed, it was an emotional downfall. I couldn't get him to watch football. It non-existent anymore. So it was very hard. But once he came out of it, which took about 2 years for him to really say, I'm really done with football, because my husband loved the sport.
Right. Well, that's
he
the thing. You love
truly
it.
loved the sport. So he actually had a career-ending injury. So if my husband would have had his tendon snapped, so he basically would have said no. I still can play, but he had to.
Right.
It was time for him to go,
and that's so hard.
It's very hard.
And not bring it. I have a son that's 17 that is injured, and it doesn't look like he fractured his pelvis. It's like we're not going to go into little details, but he is a soccer player, and he doesn't know if he's ever going to play again. And just watching that, but watching you getting to a level where it's your love and you truly love it, and then being injured. If you can just touch on that a little bit.
I mean, it was actually like really hard thing to deal with. And even though I got injured, and in my mind, I wanted to believe that it wasn't career ending, that I could still continue to go on. But when you think about it, 33, 11 years, your body doesn't heal the same.
Right.
At some point, you have to be able to tell yourself, like, no, this is it. But in my heart, in my mind, because I love the game so much, it was hard trying to tell myself that, this is it. I wanted to believe that I can come back and I can do things, I wanted to be just like Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was done before him, but I wanted to believe that I could be that guy too. But, it doesn't work out that way for everybody.
No.
And, the unfortunate part is that we get so wrapped up in it, or we're just too stubborn to realize that when it's over, and it's done.
Right. But it is, but also when you have an injury, it's not only that, and I'm going to take this, and it's going to be a little bit of a weird pivot, but as a mom, I had, I wanted to have natural childbirth, and I had to have an emergency cesarean, and I didn't heal the way. I played 2 college sports. I was like, oh, I'm good, I'm strong, I'm going to heal. Yeah. And I remember being like, why is my body failing me? Yeah. Did you go through any of that?
Yeah, I did. I really did I wouldn't even really say so much with the injury I had that put me out. I felt like I could come back and I felt strong, but it was the injuries I had after that. So I tore my other quad tendon a few years after that. Then I had reconstructive shoulder surgery. And that was when I started feeling all those things, and I felt like I couldn't rehab myself back to that normal level. That's when I started realizing, like, oh yeah, you were done. Like, in my mind, I finally realized, like, yeah, there was no way you could have continued to play the sport.
And that must have been hard for you to be on the sidelines watching that.
Because we have kids in sports as well.
Right.
So, and watching my husband can't play something that he loves so much, it was more emotional for me because I had to cry in silence.
Right.
And I'm trying to be his big cheerleader. Baby, it's okay. But in the other room, I'm bawling because I'm like, what are we going to do? Because this is all he knows.
Right.
But me, I'm career orientated, so I have my own business. So I was like, financially, we were always good. It was just the mental state of him saying, what do you mean I can't play a sport that I love anymore? These injuries are nothing. I've recovered many of times, but his body said no.
Right.
His body said no.
Right.
And then, like I said, the mental state was, regardless of what his body was saying, his mentality was, I'm going back to play.
Right.
But it didn't happen like that.
Right.
So he was young, retired at 33 years old.
Right.
So that was hard adjusting, but we just became full-time parents, and that's just what we've been doing.
Right. And and it's a blessing that your kids got time with you that maybe they wouldn't get.
Exactly.
So where are you guys now? What are you doing?
I own a business. I own a salon. Actually, I've been in business 29 years. I'm a native of Arizona, so this has always been my home. And my husband, he is my right-hand man.
I love that.
He is the chef. He is the caregiver.
Right.
And we are now grandparents. So we just welcomed a 2-month-old grandchild.
Congratulations.
Now. So we're loving that. So we're just raising our adult children, and we have one young son in high school.
Okay.
And so we have 5 kids, and we're, like I said, we're grandparents now, and then we have another granddaughter. She's on her way.
And what a special thing though that you're able to be there, healthy. And it's a big blessing.
Absolutely.
But people listening can feel and be like, oh my gosh, I can feel what you went through, even though they can't relate completely, but in some parts of their life you can relate. And
it's really different because my husband, when he played, I actually traveled to every game. I didn't miss, so I was in season with him. So when he said the season is over, I was like, oh dear God, I can go to work. Then it was like when season start, I'm back at work with him. So I basically had multiple jobs. I was a multitasker all the time. But now that he's retired, it's a lot calmer, and I'm able to travel more with him now versus during his time of playing. I didn't have that with him. It was always game day, playing. That's all I knew. So now it's completely calm now. Calm life.
But that's amazing. And thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
And tell people where they can find you though.
My salon is located in Tempe. I'm in the Tempe Salon Suites. I'm located off of 7707 South Kyrene Road, Suite 110, Tempe, Arizona, 85339. The Hair Biz.
I love it.
Door number 3. Thank you.
And where can people find you?
At home.
Yeah. I love that.
If I'm not helping her, I'm at home babysitting my precious 2-month-old
Oh my God.
grandbaby.
Where is that? I mean, having 5. I'm one of, so there's 5 of us
Yeah.
in my family. I have 3 kids, but 5, 2 dogs, because my husband was like, oh,
Right.
he only had 1 sibling, and he's like, I can't do this, so we got the 2 dogs. But what does it mean to you now to be there and really be able to be present for your grandchild?
It means a lot because, like, you know, when I was playing, wasn't able to be there for my kids, even though they would show up to games, they would come to games. But I don't think anybody realizes that football is year-round for us.
Right.
So we're at practice, you know, on Mondays. We're there, you know, Wednesday to Saturday. We play on Sundays. And then once the season is over with, you go back to working out and doing all this stuff to take care of your body, make sure that you show up healthy for the next season. So you really don't get to spend time with your kids like you're supposed to. So like now that I'm done, I enjoyed every hour, every minute that I spent with my kids, and I'm enjoying every minute that I spend with this grandbaby.
I mean, and how special that legacy, what you have built, and that now what you're like giving your kids that time is amazing. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you can just see him beaming. You're so happy to be here.
Hey, I like Fat Man.
Yeah,
That's my dude. Fat Man is my dude.
Oh, and what a special relationship. I mean, my kids love, like, grandparents are, it's so important. You know, they really are. So, oh my God, you can see that smile. That's amazing. Well, congratulations. Go kiss that baby.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you so much. You can just tell him you were on a live podcast.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Oh my gosh! So I don't know if you've heard. Yeah. So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. You guys know, if you have been watching, this is Rebecca Sharp.
Hello, everyone.
Sharp Talk. I mean, I love what you're doing. That was one of my favorite episodes because of your story and the way you conduct yourself.
Thank you.
Remember, we were like chills all around.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm so happy. So I met your father last night at the Hall of
yeah.
Fame Health. Tell us what you're doing. I mean, I know you, but tell us.
Yeah, so I mean, we are just so excited about being here. Super Bowl 57 here in Phoenix, Arizona. It is a homecoming for us. My dad played for the Cardinals for 13 seasons, and we just really wanted to come here and share about what it is that we're doing, really amplifying our message. And for him, it has been such an incredible opportunity to just talk about his life and how he's been able to have this incredible comeback. And we've gotten a lot of really positive responses as we are sharing, and I'm connecting with NFL sons and daughters and individuals who have been part of my childhood. So it just feels very warm, fuzzy, and the energy here is just infectious.
Isn't it? It's so
I
good.
love it.
It's
yeah.
So that's why I said my first one here. I was like, the energy of all of these events is
Yeah.
just so happy and
Yeah.
so good, and everyone's so happy to see each other.
Yeah.
And it's really like a homecoming, as you said, and
Absolutely.
it's awesome to be back here, kind of watching it and feeling it and unfold.
Yeah, absolutely. And like life is hard. There's so much going on in the world around us. And so to be able to have this moment of respite where you are just connecting and celebrating and like encouraging one another, it just feels really like such a blessing. And so I'm very grateful to be here and to be back with you.
Yes, I know,
and
and get to
YNS
meet you in
Live.
person,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. All of it just feels so aligned. So
I
yeah.
know. Well, thank you again. Tell people where they can find you as well.
Yes, please look me up. RebeccaSharp.com is my website. You can also follow me on Instagram, Rebecca A. Sharp. We also have Sharp Talk. So at Sharp Talk, on Instagram. And it's really great because we've been connecting with some Hall of Famers and other players that we're looking to have on the show in our new
That's
season.
awesome.
So yeah, it's not, and again, because like everything's been virtual, right? So the fact that we can meet some of these people that we have not met in person or my dad hasn't seen in over 20 years, meet them in person, get a chance to hug them and thank them for being a part of our show, and meet new people, and recruit others to come on. So yeah, everything has just been great momentum, and we're really excited about what's to come from all of these new connections.
Yes, well, it is such an awesome networking event, but it's also, again, like you said, like it's a homecoming, seeing everyone together.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining.
Yes,
and I'm so happy to be here live next to you.
Yeah, thank you, Julia.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
this outlet and for the time with you. And I know you've been really busy. She's been over here doing interview after interview.
I got
after
one
interview.
pee break. I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. And thank you for all that you're doing. I was just talking to an old friend of ours, and we were saying how we want to start to really bring together like the next generation of the children of NFL players and just hear their stories and
love
understand like we have a unique community as well, and we have an opportunity to come together.
do.
Yeah, and share some of the obstacles that we've overcome and the hardships that we've had to endure, but also how we've used that to be resilient and to be tenacious and to
Right.
rise from the ashes and to create really beautiful lives for ourselves. So I'm excited about that project and
Yeah,
really
so
being
you
able
guys
to
go
lean into
follow
it.
Rebecca
Yeah.
because that's going to be huge. That is a really good thing.
Yeah. So please follow me. Stay tuned. Enjoy the ride. And happy Super Bowl 57.
Yes. All right. Thank you
Alrighty.
so much.
Thank
oh my God,
you.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too. Is this the last one? Hopefully?
I don't know. I got to see what time it is. Oh, get a picture. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, hopefully I see you again. What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow. Are you going to be off the field? All right, welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread. So we're going to get some really cool videos, and this is the guy. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Crosby Hins, and we partner with the Hall of Fame Health. We're partnered
Right.
with the Hall of Fame Health. I do video, and then we have another video guy, and then we also have a photographer guy. So
yeah, and thank
we're
you
all
so
here.
much for coming here and supporting us with
Yeah.
what we're doing. We really, really appreciate it because I
Yeah.
know you did not have to be here, and it's wonderful. I see you mingling around and getting so much video.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in doing videography?
Oh man, well this was, I don't know how vulnerable you want to get, but
Yeah.
So I originally kind of going back Video, it's only been a part of my life for about the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Before that was a lot of different things. As a young kid, I was trying to find myself with so many different jobs and careers. So any job, any company you say, I probably worked for them.
Okay.
So it was one of those, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever lasted maybe like 6 months at a job
Okay.
at one time. But I started getting into video because I went through a deep state of depression in my life. I played a little bit of college football, D3, so it's a little bit smaller schools, private schools.
Yeah, but still you played. Yeah.
Still played, and being the smallest guy on the field, you kind of take a lot of injuries, right? So I took on a lot of injuries, blows to the head and whatnot. So I struggled with a lot of CTE. And a lot of depression came with that. That was the aftermath.
Right.
And it was so deep. It was about 2 years of chronic depression, and it was a tough part of my life. So there's eventual lone time where I was like, I kind of woke up, kind of just pissed off at the world, pissed off at God, of like, I don't know what to do with my life. I've kind of been hopping around jobs left and right, and at that point you kind of get sick of it, right? To where it's like, I don't want to work another day at another company. So for me, I was like, okay, I think this is it. So I ended up driving off a cliff with my car because I was just so fed up with everything.
Oh, okay, wow.
And tried to take my own life, but I guess by the grace of God,
God said it wasn't your time.
Yeah. And from then on, I guess I found a joy in photo and video. Just because it was the memory aspect of it, right? And being able to share a story.
The
and
stories.
for me, it's being able to create a video that shares stories, not just my story, but everybody's story. Because like Cynthia was telling me yesterday, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's ever a boring story, whether you grew up privileged or not. There's a part of everybody's life where rock bottom hits them. And for me, that was that when I was 21. So eventually, that led to me getting a lot more clients when it comes to video. And then I got connected with the Hall of Fame Health, and they kind of told us, what they stood for and everything.
And that must have meant a lot to you. With
It did.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful connection. And what I think you said, I'm a storytelling consultant. I like that stories. To me, I've always been involved in stories from when I was little to, and it doesn't matter, as you said, what your story is, how tragic, how privileged, what it was.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story, and someone can connect on different levels. So I appreciate you sharing that, because you're going to connect with people that are like, you know what, I feel like he's doing. Maybe let me pick up my camera.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's going to do what it did for him. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but maybe it will get them out of a depressed day.
Yeah.
So it's really important for you to do that. So please tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Crosby's Film. And that's basically about it.
No, that's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one thing where sharing a story is really important for me. And that's why, like I said, that's why I'm a part of Hall of Fame Health and help do video, is because, I may not have been an NFL player, but that just kind of shows that, mental health is important, not just for players, but for just people like you and me. And I think that's very important for others to hear.
Right.
Just because it's like, not many people do talk about it. Because I remember when I was young, I didn't ever talk about it.
Right.
So it's kind of like that stigma that even the players and the Hall of Famers talk about. But yeah, anybody can go through it, whether you're 10 or 50, right? So it's really important, I think, just for mental health to be not so much just aware, but to actually do something about it. And I think the Hall of Fame Health and events like this really do help.
Well, thank you so much, Crosby. I appreciate you here on YNS Live with NFL Thread sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
and
it.
Definitely go follow Crosby.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah.
And goodbye.
Yeah, because they're kicking us out. And I need a pink drink. I don't think I got a pink freaking drink. And I got to eat that. Look at that shrimp. I
And you
can't
didn't
eat
even eat that shrimp.
I need to eat that shrimp. But look how the little fork is. I can't eat that shrimp with that fork. Okay, get closer to it.
Okay.
Oh, we are live.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to YNS Live with NFL
Well,
Thread. Wrap up.
Juliet, God bless you.
I had so much fun. I mean, so much fun.
Seriously.
It really
I
is.
had, today was so emotional because being here in Arizona, starting my husband's career here, of course he was with the Jets first, but then Plan B came and we came to Arizona. I was pregnant out to here. Having Michael Vincent here, having Alex here, having Aiden here.
Yeah.
Coming back today and seeing Louis Sharp and Rebecca Sharp, FaceTiming Kathy Sharp.
Right.
Kimberly Lewis, it's like Ron Wolfley and Stephanie Wolfley
Right. Oh, so
making their
amazing.
home our home away from home for this whole event. I just am so emotional because talking to UBS and having Shutterstock here, like these sponsors that are like believing in us and what we're doing, like it's just about growth and it's about this connection. I don't know. Today was a great day.
It was a great day.
I just was so happy
It was great.
about
And
it.
I mean, and we've talked about, Zoe Hoop, we've talked about our all of our Shutterstock, UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builders. I mean, off
Because
the
we
field.
have to thank everybody.
Right,
Because
and
we can't
I've-
do this without them.
Without
and you
them,
hate
right.
to do it, but you have to do it because, like, these people that believe in what you're doing that say, gosh, yeah. And for us to say, you are the people we want to introduce to the NFL
Right.
community. You are the people that are going to help us grow. But,
and then even all our swag sponsors.
yes.
I mean, we have JML Consulting, we have Shutterstock, we have Voss Water.
Yes.
We have, I know I'm going to miss
Living Libations.
Living Libations.
Kim-
Thank you for always giving us so many great products. We
Yeah,
have the,
Amber Staples.
the lipstick.
Yeah.
Well,
we're going to
do that all. Yeah,
we don't
we're
want to
gonna
like stumble on that because we're going to make sure that
they're going to talk
the guys
about all
from
of it.
Shutterstock took video and photographs of
amazing.
all of that. We'll make sure that we thank them properly because
Right.
when you treat people, when you say, hey, come on in and we want to gift you and we want to gift you with space, gift you with the opportunity to meet people in the league, gift you the opportunity to talk about what you do, and also gift you with awesome product that really does feel
every
good.
person was so happy and
Yeah.
they love.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to a couple people that this was their first event.
Yeah.
And I said, how did you find it? Because I was like, I want to know, like, how
Yeah,
did they
yeah.
find it? And they were like, oh, we saw something that Cynthia did, or someone put us in touch with Cynthia.
That's
and
cool.
it was really, really
That's
cool to
really
hear
cool.
and how much people love this community
I
and
love
what
that.
you have done. I
Well,
mean, really.
something really cool happened tonight. A couple that's really affiliated with Franco Harris, and they're having a beautiful service for him tonight. Like they're going to honor Franco. And I'm like, what do you guys? You have a lot of playbooks. They had like
Right.
pack of play. They're like, we're going to the Franco Harris service tonight. I'm like,
amazing.
I will give you a box to
Oh,
send
that's
to them,
right.
Because these are the
I mean,
people
yes.
that I would want to share Franco's
Right.
story with. So, all in all, it was just a great day. I'm
Yes.
just so,
So, yeah.
and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful for like everybody at Ocean 44, and then my group of friends like Jackie,
everyone- yeah.
Kathy, Redhead, Duns, Cope, like they come and like make this happen for me, and just embrace
No, it's
what
beautiful.
I'm trying to do.
It's beautiful.
It's cool.
I'm so honored to be a part of
Yeah.
it.
And
So-
tomorrow you're going to be
hosting. We talked about some of the girls because I was a couple of them. I was like, wait, you're a model because I looked at that.
You're a model.
And they were like, I am, and I was like, oh my god, I totally read your bio. So
be a model or just look like one.
no, right? But that's what there was a
There
couple,
are
but
so- yeah,
they
you're
were
like,
like telling
wow.
us about what they kind of wear. So these guys are going to definitely jump on tomorrow to see the fashion show, see what we're wearing.
that's right.
And see the red carpet that we're hosting.
That's
so
true. It's a really great thing that we can let people be here even if they're not here,
Yep.
and to see what's happening, and tomorrow to be at the fashion show even if they're not at the fashion show. And I think that this will be great. Congratulations to you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. You
Thank you.
are
I had so much fun.
engaging. You are so wonderful. Like
Thank you.
every time I looked over, all I saw were smiles when people were talking to you.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
just
fun.
have to say I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
So
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Keep
you.
it
And
up.
we're going to say bye because we got to go. But thank you for joining YNS
Yes.
Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside and Ocean 44.
Yes.
Thank you to Shutterstock, UBS, Angela Brown, Legacy Builder Group, and Off the Field for always supporting what we do.
Absolutely.